think we was talking about the divers. Rowley ain't getting divers nothing yet, but they want to get the Baptist this. Hey, that is not Rowley them position to do that. Wasn't these divers working for a company, and the company supposed to compensate them? Let us be real. Only have you had to think. We don't go in. Do not watch, I don't like Crowley or I don't like the PNM. We dealing with common sense. We just deal with the fact, take away the hate part and pay attention. I to show you how stupid even I at the point that time was. You understand? Because if something happened to you on your job, how the government had to give you $1 million? Now I'm saying the family deserve money, but the companies have. So to me, the company is supposed to deal with that.
Yeah, now the company
you understand?
Is supposed to deal with that. It's the company that you have to not Rowley.
Yeah, but then everybody blames Rowley, even Carmela. That was Daisy Pat was showing them which particular city food. Because when she started to say, and the divers family, and this and that. Why did you even mention that? Because when you really look at it, the divers have nothing to do when coming with this. They didn't. They went and work. Let me be real. Did Rowley put them in the pipe?
No.
Did Rowley put them? That's why I stop people. You understand? Understand. Nothing wrong with being wrong, you know. But being wrong and strong and still defending the wrong, there's where it does look stupid. Because I will still make a content about you. They defending and they're strong and they shit they defending too.
Boy,
they're going to find an excuse. They go in and find an excuse. And you know what I want to beg up this? You know this TikToker, East Indian TikToker, when he turn and he say, boy, Kamala gave the African people them they work. That's all the people them want to know. I'm begging you for, you know. You make anything look racial. That is what it is. That is how it looking.
Yeah.
Because let me be real. The hotspot areas. Who areas is that? The special zone hotspot areas. Who does live mainly in those areas? Let me be real. Yes, it may have East Indians there, but let me be real. It have way more Afro-Trinidadians living in those areas than East Indians. Let me be real. I don't know if the zone, I don't feel Penal and Saparia and Davy go get that zone. Let me be real all here. And I'm not hating only from long on that side, but watch it as you see. Let me be real. And if a government making you feel better in your zone is only this and that, you under the same vibes and energy like them.
Yeah, but that's zone of peace.
Zone of special
You see that zone of peace? I don't believe that is really, because them have all the intelligence to know where the criminal activity is, who is the criminals, you know, because people just bring news. You understand me? You see that, you know what I tell myself today? I say, take care, they want to call a local election, but they don't want people like myself, you, Kitty, that's why the man leak, the video leak. Because if that video didn't leak, we would not know what taking place, you know. We'd just see the police pull up in front of the video and just go on with we, you know. You hear what I'm telling you?
But,
so I feel them keeping this zone of peace thing in a way because they're taking away rights.
The reason why it leak is because at the end of the day, in the hotspot areas, right? In the hotspot
watching this way, right? Watching this way, right? I live in Pretonville, right? And my zone, that zone is a certain type of zone. And I am a blogger. They could use it like this. That I incite in a certain area with people in the area, because when I blogging, they could try to make it look like that.
But that's what they're trying to do. Because the man come out and say, you listen to that video, Kitty, I listened to that video about 5 times. Right? 5 times I said, but wait. The man said that his partner is a retired something who up there with the UNC, and they're planning to come after you, himself, you, Jason, and myself with a sedition charge. I said, sedition charge? I went and I Googled it. I said, but wait. I never cussed nobody. I never incite no kind of riot or no protest or no violence. I never disrespect the Prime Minister. I never disrespect nobody in the party. I never even disrespect the MP in my area. All I said, the man never do me nothing. I have nothing against him. I believe his works will show him his reward. And I left it there. Right? When I do so, I tell you the next day I go into work and a gentleman letting me know. He said, what's going on? XYZ, XYZ, and careful. Because they're coming to embarrass you. They're going and do a joint, solely and police, whatsoever, and they're coming at you. I said, but for what? But it's the same thing we all did to the PNM. So what makes it different? And then lo and behold, I see somebody throw up a video with Kamala cautioning us at the time that the PNM will want to take away our rights and they will want to do us this and holy faith and stay strong. And now this is what they want to turn on to come to do to us.
They want to do the same thing.
Princess, can I say something to you?
Yes, go ahead.
Good afternoon, everybody. New to the panel. I was listening to the contribution. You don't usually come live or anything. And you touched on something and you said that the government was studying us. You believe that you're correct about what you're saying?
Yeah.
And I can tell you that because since 2024 September, they started doing a survey in every community. They started a survey collecting information on the public. Yeah. And on this survey, they wanted to know who you're voting for, what are the problems in your community. So they had an idea of the public's discontent. And they used that to develop the manifesto and make all these exaggerated promises that you would have heard on the election campaign because they would have gathered information. They didn't come as a UNC doing surveys. They just come as an independent person. I don't know if anybody could remember filling out a survey in 2024, but that is what they did. They were walking around on communities on a weekend, Saturdays and Sundays. They did that from September till about November. Right? And they were collecting information. I am not telling you that. I know that for a fact because I participated, so I can tell you.
But what could also add to that? What could also add to that with you? They were also, if there's one thing when the PNM was in power, you know, people going down by any one of them MPs who not even having no thing and them getting hampers and they're trying their best to organize things for the people, yeah.
But you know, Kitty, funny, yeah?
Shit was going on.
You know what is so funny about all that? Everybody who was in charge of doing these surveys back then are sitting on a board. Because I know who they are. So they all got board positions. Every one of them. Right? It was a law firm, got the contract to do the work, and they are all sitting on boards today. So who they want to help, they're currently helping. And it's only the vulnerable in society that's feeling it. Right? The poor person on the ground is the one who's crying. When you look in the communities, especially rural communities, most of these communities were employed with CPEP. They depended on an income from CPEP program because you know why? They didn't have to leave their community. They didn't have to pay transportation and go far to get a job and to make money. It was not exorbitant amount, but it was sufficient for you to have to study transportation and a lot of things. And even if you wanted additional income, you had the rest of your day to do something else.
Exactly.
So the whole rhetoric was to make PNM speak the worst thing to the public, and that is what they did. They created this whole mandate that PNM is bad for Trinidad and Tobago, and they did absolutely nothing for Trinidad and Tobago. Even I heard you talk about the grants. These grants existed for many years, but you see, nobody will really advertise these grants because means tests. You don't just qualify for that.
Yeah, but I find that
to bring the documents. They have to assess your situation and then determine if you qualify for the grant.
Sentiment. They're supposed to have people on the ground coming at your home, seeing your living condition, right? And make that grant available to the people. You understand me? And this is something they're keeping it hush hush, and the PNM too is to blame.
Good afternoon. I'm new on the your topic there. I'm listening to you all for a while now, and as I said, you coming in their life. So we say the PNM have to blame, right?
Yeah, because if they're not giving any information, put it on a little pamphlet. You listen to me. You know what I notice? Whether it's UNC or PNM, when they win the election, all the time they're walking around, they're talking and they say, okay, when they win the election and let me say they put things in place, you're supposed to edify the public or the community, you in as a counselor or whoever it is, what programs they have.
Now,
according to
warrior princess, you see now that we're thinking we have to think of our emotions and thing, right? And that question, what you tell you, what you ask today, really and truly, I still can't blame Rowley, because Rowley cannot see about each and every one of us. That is why he put MPs. But the part I will blame him for is like this: you come out and tell the public here what's going on. I'm willing to work for it all. There. Any problem you having when coming to any government office or certain things, all your voice, all your opinions. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
It is good rich man. He will make sure and pull up on that minister or however it may be. Yeah. When people see you working with the people, let me tell you this. Who could come with the sweetest flower? One time, you see when people show about you? You see when somebody show about you? Here why I'm telling you, people can come with the sweeter perfume. It a few little flies might run. Your loyalty will still stand.
Yeah, but you see in
well, but tell you this, PNM only lost PNM. Yeah, but you know how long I was emotional about PNM for so much years. You know how long I tried to deal with this PNM thing? I'm telling you the truth. And it's because of circumstances and things with my mother died hard, Eric Williams, thing. Don't talk about that. You know what man didn't do for you? Huh? All that education you're getting free. Then people that's had to pay for education outside the States. And you know the whole long talk. You overs? But I not seen you get in your government house. I see we relationship mashing up. I see we on the streets. You go in and buy man in office because Manning is your MP. You go in and man in office and you not getting through. But and let me tell you, Manning help really. Why you think I hate? Oh yeah, it's not just really me here to know. I've been hot for the most. And Sharon don't get back shut my here tonight. But you see when I see. Why all you think really say Jens rock with the PNM? My man in the side them first. Dog. My mother for years was house dog. Really say Jens? But it's my neighbor wrong stay. You don't hear nothing no UNC though. Hey, Rowley gay house. You understand? And the thing with, and I'm not saying that, dog, I want you to misunderstand me, you know. But, they claiming all this black party and thing. And all they just forget all their own loyal people, boy. They want to smash up all them, boy. Because youths, let me tell you this, youths like myself, remember watching my mother and them how they chasing this thing and up to this day still renting. These are all you just forget all your soldiers. Don't forget, I'm telling you this. The strongest chain, just one link, needs to be wicked mashup. You understand where I'm coming from? When you're standing strong all the time. All the time.
Let me tell you the same. As always see, I would have went so there. Kitty are echoing back. I went out there and I gave it my all for the UNC. And in the early days, I didn't want it to go because I tell myself I don't want to be on that. You know, I like a quiet life. And they sent for me once, they sent for me twice, they sent and they called me the third time. And I did decide to go. I said, all right, I like to give things, everything I do in my best. And I went out there and I did what I had to do. I talked from Grandy, Toko, all over the place. Now, I did what I did from my heart, Kitty. Because when I see what was taking place in my neighborhood, I say, nah, boy, somebody had to help them youths, boy. I tell you, we keep interviewing the back with one of them news reporters, and the kind of things these youths and them come out and say, Kitty, if you was there, you and all would have cried. The news reporter man and all cry. I said, nah, something had to be done. And that's how I started to advocate on behalf of
a strong party, dog.
No, here, man.
Chianam is a strong party. But they mash up the old self.
I say I'm giving them a chance because they now come in power to see what they're going to do. Kitty are echoing back. Right? And when I call in, no, I never used to call the MP. I will call him once or twice, or I might message him. He will talk to me very short. So then I said to myself, I said, well, I know he's Minister of Defense Force and he has real important things. So let me not bother he. I started to deal with the area manager. Boom, my bacchanal come and bust up with he. The area manager go on about the business, they put another guy. I make it my business and I went in the office and I get him my number. Right? I said, could I have your number? So in case I need help with somebody in my area, I could call on you, you could tell me what to do, when to send them. And to no avail. I call the number, I go for myself, I call the number, I call until the man block me. You hear what I'm telling you? People go into them, they give them bad face, attitude. I don't know what was going on with our office. Right? But it's not for me to tell the MP that he's supposed to know what's going on in his office, right? People coming to me and they're complaining. And you see them 2 days for Christmas, Boxing Day, Christmas Day and Boxing Day, the amount of people come by me, and the majority of these people are CPAP workers, Kitty. And they come with their children. I had to take food from in my house, make coconut bake. And neighbor give me a block of cheese, and next one give me a chicken ham. And I try my best to feed people. And I trying to call on to the fella in the office and nobody in answering. Nobody. And you know how I emotionally I sit down and I say, see this thing? And that's how I reach out to the opposition leader, you know. And you know what I watch, Kitty? When I went to that woman, Jen, that woman didn't watch no face, you know. The next day, that woman sent hampers and she sent toys. You hear what I'm telling you? Now remember I bashed that woman, you know. I bashed that woman, you know. And that woman decided, look now, every time I talk about it, I just get emotional because here what's going on, eh? I wiped the shame out my face and I put my tail between my leg. Because I couldn't let these people go without having nothing to eat. And when that woman sent them hampers up the road, watch me now. One of the man who I give the hamper to, Jed, I think he living on the other side of on the Ranta Garden. That man crying, you know. And my heart melts. My heart melts. No, listen to me. When that woman did that, she wasn't looking for no talk or no sympathy or no anything or to say, well, you was a PNM and you go in here and see that woman and tell me a word and that woman just decided to help me because I tell she was going to have some people by me and they hungry, they had nothing, they CPAP workers and they lost their work and they don't have nothing. I even tell she I call the office, it's only no one talking that and I get no reply.
Yeah,
and when I see all my own people who I stand up and rally for and fight to help them come in power, turn their back on me. What do they expect me to do? Not go where I get help for the people? Because remember, I see warrior princess, you know? I standing up and talking on behalf of the people, and you know what has got me vexed? I told them from day one, I am for the people. I am not for party. I will support the party, yes, on my own. But that does not mean to say if all they're doing foolishness, I wouldn't talk on it. I would not curse all you. I would not disrespect all you. But I will talk on it.
All you are right here. My granddaughter does call me every day from Long Island. So I had to take the call.
Yeah. So when I hear now, that they want to take out sedition charges on me and you. And I said, but for what? Nobody never cursed or nobody never incite no riot, no war, nothing. That is wickedness. What it is we do. But somebody told me, they said the fact that they see you cross the border, and you're with the PNM, no, they feel disrespected. But I never signed no contract with the UNC. Them never offer me no money. I never take no money from nobody to say they own me or they give me something and I have to remain loyal to them. And that is the reason why I remain how I was for the people. The fact that I voted for UNC because Ms. Kamala Prasad Bissessa, when my son got arrested, and I went in the Crime Watch meeting, I spoke about it, and she offered help. And I will always say I am grateful for that. But I don't mean to say if all they're doing something wrong, all you're up on high, all they don't know what's going on the ground is we had to tell all you. So apparently now, since they see me with the PNM, they take offense. Because it's like, I shame them, so they want to come to shame me back.
All that business, let us sit down there. You only make me cry this evening, Warrior Princess and Kitty. I cry, you know? And all the time they don't want security because they know they can handle Penelope. But security will be the one to stand up for the tail. I wish that he could get a chance. But
let me tell you something. People just say, let me tell you something. The little conversation I had with Miss Becker.
I'll be real. If it's Penelope, I'll be real. I had nothing against Stuart Young, like literally, but if Rowdy the put Becker Penelope there, come loud and get a fight.
Yeah, she'll get a fight. Because when I think about it, the majority of people, the die-hard ones, come out and vote, and some of them stay home. You understand me?
PNM people did not vote. Plenty PNM people did not vote. But if Penelope was there as the representative, like as the prime minister, she would Kamala would have got a fight. But it's woman against woman, you know, and I don't want to say why I want to say it might seem a little racial, but black people have this thing, wow, black woman going to be prime minister. Yeah, let me get that is just, you have to pay attention to how people like
and not only that to Kitty.
Vibes. That's how it is going.
And not only that to Kitty, remember? Rowdy just come just so and shove Stuart Young down with throat, you know. You understand? Then the incident with me and Stuart Young Day, I went off on him. So everybody pull on that, they watch that. You understand me? And they run with that because who wants a prime minister, somebody to run the country and the arrogant? They don't even have the time to stop to listen what the poor man on the ground had to say. And I pushed that narrative. And people run with that.
I think we do.
So I blame Rowley for that. Rowley should have given Miss Penelope Beckles a chance.
See, he knows she wasn't able.
Well, he knows she's not able. That woman is very well able. Listen to me.
How you mean she not able?
Listen to me.
You know how much people wanted Penelope? No. I will never say Penelope wasn't ready.
Kitty.
Everybody wanted Penelope.
Kitty, you're pushing one narrative. I will shut up and give somebody else who's not pushing one narrative a minute. Otherwise, all you're doing is like to hear yourself talk.
Who is this gentleman?
Nobody had no problem in 10 years. All of a sudden, everybody's all kind of lawyer.
You come on, we live and you say,
all of a sudden, all the drugs.
Yeah, you get disconnected. You get disconnected for that. You can't just come up and like you is nobody from nowhere and telling people who to hush and who to talk on the live. I know how it does work.
You're too disrespectful and bright.
You understand? And I would say everybody that I know, down to Miss Cindy and everybody wanted Penelope Beckles. Everybody who didn't, every PNM people that didn't vote was not pleased with Rowley, giving them Stuart Young because they wanted Penelope.
And let me tell you, that's the thing. Rowley I believe, Rowley, you know them kind of man who tell herself a woman supposed to know she place, a woman places in the house. I find for me, Rowley move real bias. Real bias. I have nothing against your tongue and I still have vex with him. I offer him to come, let us sit and discuss where he went wrong, because I am not going to apologize, because he know and I know and the whole of Trinidad know that I did nothing wrong. But I am willing to work with him and patch up things because we had to fix the country, right? But at the end of the day, you see this narrative people push about penny week and penny week. It's like they're judging the book by the cover. For the little time I sat down and I listen to me, I had one conversation with that woman. You see that woman, you see Miss Penelope, because that woman have a heart, you know. She might be quiet. She might be, you know, little quiet and she looking like, you know, she just neither here or there. But let me tell you something. That woman have a fire inside her she. If that woman get a chance, she will govern Trinidad and Tobago the way how it's supposed to be. That woman has a lot of respect. She has etiquette. That woman have a lot of love, and people have to take the time to get to know her and stop judging her. You don't judge the book by the cover. And I'm not saying that because she gave me the little hamper.
But I'm judging Stuarty too as 1%, but plenty people love you.
Stuarty prove himself. honey, Stuarty prove himself.
Long as Penelope.
Listen to me, honey. Listen to me. Mr. Stuart Young prove himself. All Mr. Stuart Young had was to do, well, in my eyesight, was stand up, and I wasn't even talking to him. I was talking to Monroe, because it was the first time I would have seen Mr. Monroe, right? And I was trying to have a conversation with Monroe, and he butt in. So I told him, wait, I want to talk to the MP. It's then I realized he's Stuart Young. And he was the one that touched him on his shoulder and tell him, let us go. So if you vying to be the prime minister of our country, we the citizens, in case of all they don't know, we is their employer, we employing them to handle the affairs of our country.
That is right.
And at least, if you didn't want to hold talks with me right there and there, you could have said, Miss Edwards, or whatever my name is, because Monroe knew my name. We walking about now. We do not have time to carry on this conversation. They had ample time to come back. Let me tell you something. See all the Trinidadians, we just sell ourselves short. And not because them in jacket and tie and they up there, they hired on us. Because at the end of every election, they know they had to come back down to the ground to us. Stop selling on themselves short. And if all of us stand up together as one and say, hey, we're going on, them working for we, they have to answer to us. And if you notice, every government come, every government go, they're doing as they please. And they're not answering to us. So if you, Stuart Young, wanted to be the next prime minister, and I ask you a question and you walk out on me, like I is nobody, how you think the right thinking, conscious-minded citizen will watch at that? Tell me. Tell me. Trinidadians is funny people, you know. Trinidadians is funny people. We are funny people. You just can't just come just so, and just, you retire off into the sunset, you fix your business, and you just put Stuart Young.
So you feel Penelope have a standard chance to bring us back?
Of course.
To bring back.
Of course, you just have to give the woman some time, get to know the woman, get to know Penelope Beckles. That is all I am asking people.
Even though she is educated or what, she is too soft. What's Stuarty and what's wrong?
Not because a person does not read.
Just now, guys, let me just ask one question.
Go ahead.
Who said that you had to be rowdy to get the matter across?
Okay.
Who say you had to be rowdy to get your point across?
All I have to do is
I am just asking. I listen to everybody, but who say that you have to be rowdy to get your point across. Everybody has a personality, and that is her personality. She's not a rowdy person, but she knows what she has to do. And let me just say this, right? At this point in time, I love Stuart. Stuart is my partner, and I'm not giving up Stuart as a friend for nobody. Miss Penelope Beckers is my very good friend, and I'm not giving up a friendship for nobody. But what I could tell you is, there was an internal election, and nobody put up themselves. She went up unopposed, and at this point in time, the People's National Movement political leader is Penelope Beckers Robinson, and I rest my case tonight. And if we want to be part of a movement that will help the people and we so desire, let me stop with that. We talk and that talk. Let me be part of helping. Let me be help. It have nothing with no 1%. Who talking about 1%? You see, all it does is listen to what people tell all you. All it will be in the trenches to hear.
I saw it, I read it here a little while.
Well, honey, let me tell you this, right?
But anybody can come up and say anything.
Sharon, wait. Let me just tell her something. Honey, where are you from? If you don't mind asking. Mava?
I'm from Trinidad.
No, what part of the country you're from? I live Sandy Grande.
I live Lupino.
Right. Have you ever met Miss Beckles in person?
No, I don't have to meet her.
But you see, you're judging the book by the cover, baby.
Yeah.
Well, they don't do that now. Let me don't do that now. Let me don't do that.
Excuse, I can say something.
Good evening. Good evening.
I am from the Arima area, and a few years I've known Miss Beckles. She's a very, very loving person and humble person. She is a ground person and have been working with the people on the ground for these couple of years. Even in my area, there were over 40 people and more lost their jobs. And she have been helping people and their children for the longest while.
1% have more power than you don't have to be rowdy to get your point across.
I don't want to comment on the live, but good afternoon to everybody else. But and that's the reason why everybody went to UNC, because we didn't like how rowdy was talking, rough to me. So now Penelope, she's a soft, nice spoken person, so now where's the problem?
So then get to know her before you bash her.
Yeah, because at that time before, whenever I hear people talk, I hear people talk good about Penelope from a long time.
Kitty, let Labre talk. It's Labre, sorry. It's Labre, sorry.
Tomorrow is the 21st. The PNM National Movement is having their 7th year annual something in Queen's Hall.
That's right. That's right.
And we should come out and, I believe, and I know in my heart, Penelope wouldn't turn you down from talking to her.
Thank you very much, darling. Thank you very much.
Let's come out
honey,
and have a
when I went to the woman for help, I told the woman, because I bashed that woman from Timbuktu to Timbuktu. And the way how that woman greet me, I know when that woman greet me and that woman helped me. She didn't turn and say, or expected anything, You see the love and the warmth I felt from that woman? Nobody didn't have to invite me to go in that meeting. I went big and proud and bold. I know I would have gotten beast face and bad eye from everybody because they shocked the warrior princess pull up there. But let me tell you something. You see, love conquers all. Genuine love conquers all, and that woman has a heart. And as long as I am alive and God permits me life, you see that kind of love and that devotion, that woman decided to help people. And listen to me, she didn't say, all is UNC and all vote for UNC. Let the UNC help all, because that is how some politicians just think. The woman stretched forth her hand. Yeah. And she put a smile on the children and them faces, and she put food in people's belly. Yeah. I and all get food. My children and all get food.
Correct.
We have to start some way. We have to start some way. We have to start some way.
I will stay humble because I'm the only one saying for Stuarty, but we will watch and see, okay?
No, we ain't this. We listen to me. We ain't denouncing Sturty, no. But now it's not Sturty time. Sturty has to take a back burner. And if Rowley intervening in whatever, Rowley has to sit down in the rocking chair and rock back and say, hey, my time has passed. Go and talk to your little old man partner and reminisce. But give somebody else a chance to run the party a time over. And I done talk. Sturty will make a very good prime minister, you know. Sturty will make a very good prime minister. But now is not his time.
He had a short-lived time. But when Sturty really come out and say he would have get the license for we to get the oil and gas, I honestly, in my heart, I think Sturty was the man for that. Honestly. When he became prime minister for the short while, and our oil and gas was on the breadline with the dragon gas, I believe him said, I am willing to work to get that oil and gas for we. Because we need things to build back the country at the end of the day. So at that short time, I really was in favor of him. But knowing that everything has already said and happened, it was time for change. And I truly believe Penelope is the way forward. No doubt about that. No doubt.
Get to know the woman first. Let me tell you something. I am not easily pleased. I am the type of person I real fussy.
I thought that. All right. But let me tell you why UNC winning Labrador. Over the years, we have been asking for somebody who on the ground, born, raised, grow, know the area in and out. You know, from where it started, you know, the two sides, the Labrador itself and Chatham Flora. We even going down straight to Chatham because it's how, you know, you have one side of the road is one constituency and the next side of the road is a next constituency. This young man from our area, he went to Barbados to pursue his political science and everything to get in the arena. He would have sat under all these MPs of the past for almost 10 to 15 years. And when it was his time, because before they was telling him, oh, you're not old enough, oh, you're not old enough, oh, you don't have the experience. He said, all right, I sit under MPs for 15 years. And we say, you know what? Come 2025 is your time to shine for your people, boy. The whole community playing on Jamel. We want Jamel. But the old dirty people who have the own people who don't want to put had to fight down the youth. I thought all they say the youth is the future tomorrow. This is a young man who want to know and want better for Labrador because all you know Labrador have a stigmatism and say, oh, Labrador is a bunch of pipers and nothing will come out of Labrador. Labrador have doctors, lawyers, nurses, anything you could name, engineers from Labrador here, just as people and Laventille and Mova and everywhere else. Have good people in Labrador too.
Yeah.
Right? And that is what we wanted. We say, okay, if it's a nasty game that all you want to play and all you want to say, bring Mr. Randall Mitchell because Randall Mitchell had a history of how it is he used to treat his own people in San Fernando. And all you bring him down here, we say, listen, we don't want Randall. We want we all who born and raised here. Or they reject the young boy. We say, okay, if that is the game PNM want to play and they do not want to listen to the people, we're going to give it to the other side.
Yeah, as simple as that.
Yeah, we had to teach PNM.
So let me ask you a question. How does Randall Mitchell, how is he functioning down on the side as of present?
Randall Mitchell didn't win him seat. He's not there.
Oh, okay.
So UNC now is in office. Well, there was a whole bacchanal because they say like the office is a office and the office dilapidated, so they didn't want the office. But I hear now is the same office that the presiding in right now. I just talked to my friend earlier on. She said she sister went to check the Mr. Clyde Elder and Mr.
Clyde yes, Elder. Clyde Elder. So how he functioning? How he functioning down on that side?
Talking to the daughter people, are you crazy?
What said that again?
My friend's sister said she went to seek help at the UNC office. And the assistant to whoever is in the office talking to people through the door. They're mad?
What?
Like, come to now? when it is UNC coming power, Thanos, Miss Jolene John, you're inside library and showing how the road dilapidated because why we are growing pitch. And say, oh, we have to sort out this, we have to sort out that. Up to now, the road in the same position, still twist up. But at the end
That when the road did fall apart.
Yes, we have growing pitch.
I saw that video.
You know, there's growing pitch. Inside is bad growing pitch. The road will never stay the same. If it is your pavement today, tomorrow it go twist back. That is how Library Road is.
Okay.
The whole of Library is that kind of pitch growing. People yard, backyard thing, you'll twist your house. We on a lake asphalt. So when Jolene John come and land them, what's the field? Drop the high bush. Right? Scrap iron, buy a scrap iron, take the basketball ring and take all the fence and pole. We have no basketball court. What else are doing? You're hiding in your office, or you're taking the highway to go up the highway? But you say you want to fight for the people. But at the end of the day, we're not vexed, you know. But because we had to just send a message to peer them and say, listen, if ever all you come back and had to make the place better, all you need to listen to the people on the ground. Stop.
And that is what they don't do.
We don't want you. But remember, Penelope come in all areas. She come Destiny and Point. She come and she apologized. We know things wasn't the way it's supposed to be. All right, we have to move forward now with Penelope. You can't expect Penelope to be rowdy and to be Stuart and all the man and them go handle things different, but she's a woman.
Exactly.
But Penelope has always been since she taking office.
And I want to believe her, she's the only minister named never calling corruption.
Never. Penelope was always on the ground. Always on the ground.
Somebody mute the mic.
Is 2027. May our brains never forget everything that we're going through right now. Because somehow we have short-term memory. And Kamala will come and say, I go get you all a piece of cheese, and all they go say, wait, boy, that's real nice. Kamala will begin. Don't forget how many people hope. I myself never even buy no ham for Christmas. What's about basketball? Wrong with me. But is everybody household feeling it?
Yeah.
No ham, no ghost trees, no curtain, no nothing. Everybody wash over and put back up.
And you know, this is the year where everybody have 30 and 40 and 50% off in the stores and nobody couldn't afford to buy.
I tell you that. I tell you that, Miss Princess. But I want people to
I love Christmas eyes, Mrs. Claus. I couldn't even afford to buy brand new curtains every year. I had to wash and use over.
I am telling you. Me make no cake, no sweet bread, nothing. It was a regular thing. Rice and peas.
I have a problem with how people stigma in Miss Beckles. Get to know the woman first, and after you get to know her, then you can judge her.
She is the way forward because at the end of the day, when I think Michaela's supposed to be doing the groundwork, I'm not seeing Michaela doing the groundwork. We saying, oh, we're not ready for a third party. But the third party not doing the groundwork since election. When last only see Michaela on any platform saying anything. She behind Facebook, she behind TikTok, wherever. But at the end of the day, do your groundwork. If it is you say Trinidad needs a third party, show us that we need a third party. What is the importance of a third party? But for now, it is red and yellow till we dead. I am sorry to say.
It's red and yellow.
But until third party have a proper structure, third party have a proper structure, there is no third party to take over now. That's my contribution is that.
And I still maintain the fact I am not saying Stuart mightn't be a good prime minister, but now is not his time. Now is not his time.
Nobody wants to be in it at all, yeah?
Nobody don't want him.
But nobody don't want my mother, nobody I know, everybody I hear talk was Why this man wicked, boy? Everybody expecting Penelope Stewart, young, boy. That man is that shiny man, boy. Time people told people watch Rowdy like he do that for spite. You know?
Yeah.
And then I say to myself, I said, but Rowdy, you're not you stupid. I had always looking forward to see Penelope. When I see Stewart Young, I said, nah. The UNC going and jam on there.
Odell Paul says she needs to visit the community centers. And she has all intentions to do that. Odell. Just give her some time, get to know the woman, and always be talking a different language. Trust me. Don't just say judge the book by the cover until you open you open the cover and start to go down in the book and start to read. Don't do that. Let me tell you something. Eh? People have a way they like to judge me. Right? And at that time, my sister and I went back in times, and this guy came up to us and he asked us he asked my sister for a dance, he asked me for a dance, no scandal dance, back in times. And when that fella was finished, he buy drinks for us, we buy drinks for him, and we sit down and we live. You know what he didn't say? He said, look at that, people that say all kind of thing about Olia. And you know, Olia not so. And I was so shocked. I said, wait a minute, what do they say about me? He said, well, they say Olia rough and Olia rugged and Olia this and Olia that. He said, but you really have to get to know somebody. You have to get close to somebody to know them before you judge them. And this thing about Penelope, the woman is poised.
But the ministers and then we don't know them. We just go meetings and listen to how they're speaking and what. That's how we just put them there. Sometimes we don't personally know them to say, well, we know this person and we deal with them and they treat us nice. I don't want nothing from them. They never give me nothing. But since I 18 years, I voting and I am 63 years and still voting and PNM never give me anything. I work hard for what I want.
But did you ever go to ask and you got turned down or, like that in that case? You ever wanted help or anything and you went and get turned down? That's right, because earlier on, remember Kitty, I tell you that? I was a CPEP contractor and I could tell you my workers, if you call any of my workers, nobody tell you. All but they are quiet.
You know, some people used to tell us, police officers, like when you work in the station, they say, but how MPS workers just buy cars, so the cleaners and them, and we as police officers, some of us have none. You know? We know
it's
how
not
to handle
what you do. It's not what you do, it's how you do things.
Yeah, so sometimes you don't have to know people, You don't have to personally know people sometimes. By their appearance, by the how they speak, and thing, and that is how people that go different rally to hear how they, So that is it.
But let me tell you, the two candidates are two good and strong candidates in my book. But at this time, Penelope is the political leader and the opposition leader. And for me, that is who we have to follow.
Yeah.
If internal elections come up again and 20 people want to put up themselves, democracy at hand, and may the best man win, she win back again, we go on again, whoever win, I go on again. But at this time, the unnecessary bacchanal and noise, it have a political leader and she's the opposition leader. Oh God, whatever happened before, we ain't had time for that. Put aside that, we go deal with that after, but we have things in this country to deal with.
Yeah.
We have to put all hands on deck and we have to try to help one another. Because if you're passing down the road like Warrior say, the girl come and ask you for something to eat, and you know you have a little $20 stuck away and you could help, you go leave it there and see the person drop down and fit away, be wants a bottle of water for the mouth or whatever. No, we have to try to help.
Yeah.
So I want to leave because I want to go and hear my pan side from up here, Panberry, going and beat tonight to judge. I'm going to take a bath. I have to take about half an hour to reach where I'm going. So I'm just telling all you, y'all are invited on the 24th, which is Thursday at Queen's Hall. Let me come out together. All they call me and tell me all they want to come, so I can organize. And after the show, everybody will meet Miss Beckles. I sure that. Right? So all you have a good night. Love you guys. I go on. Warrior, we go talk later. Kitty, darling, I love you.
For yourself.
Love you too. Bye.
Hey, Miss Kitty, let me say something again before again. I say not going, I ain't leaving. Every time I say I'm going, I ain't leaving.
I say what
Miss
the way to eat, but I said
Miss
buy food.
Miss Beckles is a nice woman because
I gotta eat something first thing.
our sister that's so for her, she's a seamstress. And my sister tell me that she is real nice. You understand what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Real nice. You understand? So all do all the thing and keep strong and keep one head. You understand? As our people, or keep one head. You know what I mean? As Negro people, or let's keep one head. Don't let nobody, nothing sidetrack all you. You understand? That is my contribution.
Thank you very much, Selector Neil.
They come in the guy people again for local election and people go fall for it again.
People go fall for what?
Fall for what, boy?
After all this pain and sorrow, people going through it? Well, if
they fall for it, they like it.
They like it because let me tell you something. If I is a government worker and I feeling it in my salary, and I seen what people who was working and they don't have nothing to go by, the little that they have was taken away from them, and you go still want to remain in that, well then something got to be wrong.
Yeah, something had to be wrong. Something had to be wrong with the mental.
Everybody have to make their own choices in this life.
Exactly.
Everybody have to make their own choices in this life. You're seeing what's going on. Now listen to me, I'm not against rules. You see, rules, we the people in Trinidad and Tobago, we need rules because some of us, we could lawless.
Yeah.
But I am telling you, you see some of them fines, oh God, have mercy. Well, them go to start up in real jail because the jail going to be ram-cram.
Them fines that's cruelty to human beings.
Because if I am a government worker, and if a fridge go bad in my house, a stove go bad in my house, long time I could have take out that on 3 months for cash price. Ban my belly and take it over 3 months for cash price. No, I can't afford to do. I had to take a small loan. And that loan lasted me 3 years.
Sure.
Because the cost of living gone up. So if a man get charged for $20,000, $19,000, and he have 1 month to find that money to pay that, how he paying that? And we say that car is his only income and he can't go on the road to work that car because he don't have no other work. How he paying that?
How he paying it? You understand that? The cruel, the very cruel to human beings, but as I say...
And that is something I find Ms. Kamala should have look at.
Yeah, look into that.
All right. You want to charge them because they're lawless? They have faulty parts on the car? Okay, I have no problem with that because you have to hire a car up and running. And that is why I'm saying they're not listening to the poor man. You just come with these exorbitant kind of prices and you just drop it on them.
No, you see too.
You see, the thing is, the fines, right? What I was saying, the fines so unnecessary. Just now, the fines so unnecessary because no matter how much money you charge, it will not make people better drivers. So the demerit points were Rowdy had. A boy would lose his license. When he see how much points he lose and realize, 2 more, 3 more to go, that is it day. A boy don't really want to lose his license. But people who really that is not good drivers, the ones who go and pay for their license would be the ones who would lose their license because plenty of them do know they go and pay for their license. This is the reason why there's so much road accidents. Because plenty of them pay, they don't even know the road signs on the road.
And sort of power. Sort of power, thank you very much. He said nobody here talking about the roads and them because the condition of the roads.
You understand? That make no sense. Because no fee or no fine somebody could pay. And you tell me, I paid $20,000, I never want that money because I'm going to be real with you. All yeah? Most of the road accidents on the road and them fast cars and all the best car and thing on the road is East Indian. Them just drink and lime and drive and get some serious accident, dog. Thing to make you pray. That never happened to
You're not
you.
wrong.
You understand me? And it have nothing to do with racial, just being real.
I work in the hospital like I tell you.
So most of them fees and things, them East Indian and them just save them money, think them could pay that. But so when people thinking yes, some people get ticket for certain little small thing and yeah, but if most of them would lose their license, the ones who want to pay for what they had to get, is them most of the time because they had the money to go and spend the money on the thing. But I just save it to how they accomplish it. The idea is that the reality, everybody know that. Let me be real. All they really feel is a African guy bringing in drugs in a big shipload here. Let me be real.
No.
Think about it.
No.
Is he saying yes? Pay the little black boys on the road the same way to come and hustle and them have to pay on consignment. You understand? The people who really making the difference with them is them making money off of it, building the house, opening the business. The Creole selling. And they only starting to buy brands and are saving the money.
All I remember when he changed the $100 bill, how much scams come out with pastor with millions and millions of dollars in the church, and it? All I remember that? When they changed the money, how that exposed things, how that exposed the corruption in Trinidad and Tobago. So let me not be dumbfounded on what's going on. You have people stuck in money, right? Stuck in so they can pay for the fines. I just like they're doing it to the poor people more.
Yeah.
Right? We getting lashed with it. And how you expect our boy to pay a ticket in 7 days and get all that done in 7 days' time? They're mad.
Or you charge him a fine of 19,000 or 20,000 and you want that paid in 1 month time.
Yeah, and you better pay that ticket.
These jails.
And you better pay that ticket. You ever see how they just come for you? But these people just come like if you went and commit a crime, all in the back of your house surrounded 2, 3 in the morning, is a ticket, you know. A blasted traffic ticket, you know.
So
you have to pay that.
Let me ask a question. So, all right, let me say you get charged for when they charge, you have ticket for faulty parts in your car and stuff. And let me say you don't have that money. How much months you gonna make in jail for that?
They say it's increasing by every month. So I ain't paid, it's just increasing.
Well, yeah, I check a ticket. I go check a ticket a month, and probably we just saying
it. So let me say you don't have the money and they sentence you to jail. So why
no,
in jail?
If you don't have the money, if you don't have the money, the first time when they lock you up, right, they will give you a month or something for you to obtain the money. After that, you can go and do your time.
But how long? How much months in jail?
Well, depending on how much tickets you have.
Jesus
how much is their fine?
You know it. And you're blacklisted with you. With you point. What's going on with these people, right?
I don't understand.
I can't
but them go out to real bill jail?
Yeah.
Because people don't even afford to buy food.
I don't understand.
You know, it's to pay a $19,000 ticket or a $15,000. Or the man who want to pay $30,000. Come on.
Been doing it 6 months.
I could do it if I get $30,000 now. My shit running for me proper right now. Telling you every I ain't get 30,000 to the government just so. What?
Yeah, there's not even
and these people mashing up these people roads mashing up your car. You have to go and flecking well rim. You understand? The steering rack is what now you making joke. And the police not sparing you.
Telling me that ticket cost.
That's why it's good to when you're driving on the road to make sure you put away a little money and thing. But you see that fines what she did there? That alone make people watch Auntie Kamala. We wishing Merry Christmas. We even having a Merry Christmas. Some eating lentil, some eating pack soup. While all eating steak and ham and pushing bills, pushing taxes, and let me be real. 3 o'clock in the morning, all they started new bills. Let me be real.
No, New Year's morning, police was on the road, people. New Year's, bright and early New Year's. Pack up ready for them, Men get tickets.
You know what I feel? I tell myself that them must feel people must have real money. But then again, don't get happy because we might say people don't have no money and they go so ram cram them fat and them going and be.
No, but fat going on. Fat going on. People buy the ticket months before the fines come. It's just after the ass is grass. That's all.
It's about any little money I get, is to pay my bills, make sure I have food in my house, and send myself to work,
Yeah. That's how we got to run it. Buy in bulk and save like it is winter time. They how we had to run things now in Trinidad. You had to buy in bulk. If you find a little wholesale man selling things cheap.
I am man, make a content. East Indian guy, and he was saying, I support the UNC. And what you tickets? Okay. He's showing you tickets, so
yeah, I remember that.
You support the UNC. You thought the police was going to pull over UNC supporters. It was PNM supporters. They're going to pull across on the road.
As everybody gets it. I just find them thing too a little too high, boy. Oh nah, but I tell you what, I don't have a victim.
Me too.
$1,000 ticket and $2,000,
But look at Bala.
Ticket as a passenger, they can still thing.
That would have been $2,000 for me.
How they hitting your ticket as a passenger? The only ticket they can hit is if you have on a seatbelt.
No, I was working at Carney Road. If you I want to and a contest ticket because I got a ticket for supporting UNC also. The policewoman said when UNC went, everybody went, and my phone was hooked up to my auxiliary jack in the car, and them stopped me and said I had a phone in my hand. And I was behind a traffic light, and they stopped. And then when I drive and I pull in front of the traffic light, then they pull me across. And they might ticket for just being a UNC.
Wow. Yeah, because I think I hear a man say he got a ticket because he had a PNM sticker in the car.
For real?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, people.
Good night.
I did post up I got a ticket. I had a car parked up in front of my house. For about 2.5 years, the car not working, and I got a $14,000 ticket.
Oh yeah.
My car not working.
You car park up in front of your house until you can get a ticket too. I hear
my
about
car park up in front of the house, and the man said, the police said, there are no insurance, no inspection, and my tires smooth. $14,000 he gave me, and I contested. I got a date in 2029 to contest that ticket.
But that don't make sense.
A car, the man see the car not working, all the tires flat, the car down.
The car not running. The car not running, so I don't understand.
The car not working, the car was to sell for scrap. And the police officer holding a roadblock by the corner and walk down my street and see the car. And then it's me and the next man get ticket. He get about almost close to $16,000 in ticket. For a car when not working, and I get $14,000.
I wonder if them think about them laws on them, boy.
I did post up that when I was in my living room, I was sick, and I showed car was on the main road, and I showed.
Nah, man, I witnessed
$14,000 ticket. Them give me the
You can't even have a not working car outside, right? They're just targeting people now.
Yeah, somebody did call me.
People with tickets like that, fellas, for the specials.
I don't have no yard. I don't have no yard to say I could put my car in the yard.
I saw a guy said something very, very, very concerning.
I see the Go Martin Corporation come out today and moving
everybody car off the road, they're taking them and impounding it.
What?
What?
Special zones of peace? What
They
you call it? These
impound in your
zones?
car. If you have your car, if you have your car on the road, and the Martin Corporation come and they impound in your vehicle, you have to pay 2,000 to get back your car. You understand?
Well,
That is what's going on right now.
welcome to the
And
dictatorship of Trinidad and Tobago, is that it?
Kamlan them was talking Rowley. Kamlan them was talking Rowley and them saying the fines and them was too high, but under the PNM we never went through this. We never went through this, and it was $1,000. If they catch you without it, if they catch you with no insurance or a crack windshield or whatever, it was $1,000. Right now it's $10,000 for no insurance, $2,000 for
Jesus Christ.
$1,000 something. Yeah. I remember them thing was like 500 and thing, but come on.
Actually, you know what they do? If they reach the court without no insurance,
Kitty, you're too low. Kitty, we hardly hear you.
Your voice is low.
the fee in the court is 10,000 for driving without an insurance. I went through that because I'm individual, but not on the road. Like if you get the police sign up anytime like it reaches the court like an accident happen, then they used to charge you that $10,000.
Yeah, but the car why not on the road. The car why have park up on the side of the road is a $10,000 ticket I get. And the car park up.
I'm telling you, but that don't make no sense. How could you get somebody a ticket for a vehicle that is scrapping at the side of the road?
In front of my house.
But what I'm saying,
remember, you're working the vehicle, you know. They could have given you a warning until they find somewhere to place your vehicle.
Yeah.
Like, let me be real. But to give him that ticket.
Yeah, but that is a side street. That is not like on the main road or something.
Yeah,
that is on a side street.
I understand where you're coming from. I understand.
They don't want no old car.
That man give me a ticket.
No, what I'm saying,
that man give me a ticket $10,000 for no insurance.
What I was saying, Chatter, right? Even self, let me say, is a new law. Let me just say that. When now that you know when things say, boy, here we're going on camera, they've been playing, you know. Try and see if you could scrap out this vehicle or look to move this or something. But how you can get him on a $10,000 ticket for insurance with a car he's scrapping, you know?
So, Chatter, let me ask you a question. How you intend to make that money to pay that? You're working though?
No, well, I sell the car, I turn around and sell the car. And well, I contest the ticket, so I can't pay the ticket because I have a court date for 2029. You understand? So I have to wait to see what is the results of that court, that ruling, and then after I will know if I had to pay the ticket or what I have to do, because I have a good chance to contest that ticket because the car, I take pictures and everything of the car, it don't have no engine in the car. And I show the officer turn and tell me he don't want to see that because I wasting his time.
Yeah, but some of them officers are unreasonable too, you know.
This is why if it have body cams, there would not be that.
But you know, somehow or the other, I don't know what happened to them. Like they refuse to purchase this body cam. I don't understand why. And that body cam will save. That body cam is going to save lives. It's going to save the police life, and it's also going to save your life.
You know,
yeah, but they only enforcing laws. You make out Warrior Princess, they enforcing laws hard on citizens, but only not making the police officer where they only have to make them wait.
Yes,
that part of
that
your
is
uniform now. You understand?
Good night, everybody. Good night, Kitty. Good night, everybody.
Hi, Satan Kurt. Good night.
Yeah, I'll explain to her. Warrior Princess, good night. Look, if you go back into history, police was never designed to protect nobody. So that is a wishful thinking. That and a green donkey will never see on top of hill. But of course, I want to say something, and the views of me is not necessarily the views of Kitty or anybody else on this panel. So, we have an elephant in the room. Anybody, let me shift it a little bit. Anybody know where we getting gas from?
No.
Anybody? Anybody know?
Jamaica? It is not Jamaica we get it from?
That's what I thought it was. That's the last time we buy gas, right?
All right,
From
so
Jamaica.
Jamaica.
all right, so let me
And that was a few years back.
let me pour a new thinking cap here. Let me tie up the loose ends now. The objective is more fines, less cars on the road, less import of gas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see where you're going there. And we
We
done lost the deals with Venezuela already. So
ending up with a gas shortage.
we done there already. They're just not saying it.
So we don't have any reserve. I don't think. Well, I don't know if that. Well, up to the point I know, from the refinery, we used to get gas from the refinery straight to the pump. I don't know if we have any reserve left, or if we have any way to store reserve. So once you apply more fines, you would have less people on the road. Once you have less people on the road, you will have less people going to the gas pumps.
Mm-hmm.
But everything is going to come tumbling down after Carnival.
Yes.
So we get a little window now. Buy up a little lamp, buy up a little candle. See what you could buy.
I feel all
it's
them.
going to happen very fast.
Well, I know, tell
Yeah,
you,
go ahead.
buying bulk like
I feel all them fines and them bring out because Mr. Enbert was saying where they're going to get the money to give the public servants some money. I feel all them fines is to pay them public servants some money. So where they getting the money to
very quickly, so he had to find money for something.
All the money?
Remember the industry and the private sector pulling in money, you know.
Like different current events, things happening.
A lot of these factories closing down, a lot of these plants closing down. That is money for the treasury going down the drain. Sharing from somewhere.
You doing all kind of thing.
Yeah, but this woman,
people excited.
it's not just the fines. This woman raise everything. This woman raise to renew your passport. If you lose your passport now, it's $2,000 to get back your passport.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Your birth paper was $50 to get your birth paper. Now it's $250 to get your birth paper.
Ooh.
You understand? And this is where we never vote for. Kadisha, Amin, and Philip Alexander, and all of them came down by we in Digo Martin, because I am from Digo Martin, and them say that how they will lower everything, and look what going on. They light us. They come and they light us, and that right now the UNC government oppressing the people and them of Trinidad and Tobago. You understand?
And that is how I felt today. That is how I felt today, and I came home crying. I felt oppressed. I felt like the whole world on my shoulder. I felt like I didn't ever say.
We walked from Digo Martin to Maraval with Philip Alexander. That had a rally in Maraval, and we walked there with them. And after the election, we never see Philip Alexander again. We never see Kadisha Amin. You understand? And when we call them, the phone going straight to voicemail. So it come like they just use me.
We elect all here to handle the affairs of the country. So all they're supposed to come remain on the ground and liaise with the people. They're not doing that. It's come like they just wanted to get in power. They reach where they reach and they forget you. To hell with you. That is how I feel. It might be so with some people, but that is how I feel.
I feel she punishing we for that. You understand? That is how I feel.
Pleasant good night to everybody. Thanks for having me on the panel. I just want to give my contribution. I listen to everybody giving their personal experiences and what it is happening right now in the country. And I lie down here and honestly my belly turning.
Yeah.
I start to feel upset. I serious. I feel like my throat here right now. It start to feel frothy. You understand? Because I feeling the oppression of the people, boy. Literally here, you know, you're hearing people here giving the testimony, like every one in every 3 people. You understand what I'm saying? Has something to say or affected by what it is really going on here in a severe manner, where really the government or the administration really targeting the pocket. right? But what I want to say is, for a long period of time, Trinidad and Tobago citizens have allowed an administration to come into office and do us what they want to do. And we just continuously talking about it, and
nothing is being done.
Not coming together as a people and doing what is required of us to ensure that our democracy and our rights, constitutional rights, are maintained. Right? What I'm saying, I'm hearing my brother saying, they lie to us, they tell us they go and lower things and whatever the case may be. There are things that we can start to do as a people, right? I have something that I'm looking to put on the table, which is a 2-day stay-at-home protest, right, for the unemployment rate in Trinidad and Tobago for the CPEP URP workers. That's one. And the unreasonable and unfair increase in fees and fines at the licensing division, right? These simple exercises, if the public could grasp it and really participate in it and get the attention of the administration, we can do things incrementally. If we do not get the result that is required in 2 days, we go again, and next week we hit them at 3 days, we hit them at 4 days, right? We do this for a while, we're not getting any traction. We as the people, under that same exercise, could now file under our constitution. We can file a confidence, no confidence motion, a motion of no confidence in the administration, and sign a petition, dissolve the parliament, and in the morning we could call an election. A motion of no confidence suggests, it suggests to the administration that we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, no longer have confidence in you to run the affairs of our country. We are doing things in a particular way, right? Boycotting, staying at home to bring attention and awareness to the dissatisfaction that we are facing as a people, and you all continue to neglect us. So we have no confidence in you running our country. That is what our constitution provides. We keep calling the government, which is the administration, we keep calling them government. But our constitution suggests and says clearly that the administration is sworn into office, and the people, which is the government, is the ones that maintain and hold the power. But we somehow given up our power to an administration because we don't know our rights, one, and we fail as a people to be active and to come together, unite, because all of us facing the same thing. All of us, whether we rich or poor, right? The rich people could pay the fines and whatever, but it's us on the ground, the majority, the 99% of us on the ground who working and living paycheck to paycheck, failing to come together, put aside political differences, put aside religious differences, put aside, you understand, personal differences, and come together and stand as one, right? So that we can get things addressed. So I am suggesting here, I hear everybody, right? But I just want you all to stay tuned, because I personally want to start an action, a 2-day stay at home protest. This is not to go on a beach. This is not to go and line by the shop. You understand what I'm saying? Within this 2-day stay at home, you shouldn't be purchasing anything supporting any business. Stay in your house, keep your money in your pocket, and we standing together collectively for change and consultation of the people, right? So I'm sorry to hear what everybody going through. I would have lost my license. My license was disqualified when I was a driver salesman working for Kiss Baking Company, right? Under the P&M administration, and I get them slapped with some demerit points thing. It reached 14 and they disqualify me for 2 years. Right now I eligible since January to get back my license. Well, since December last year to get back my license, and I can't even find the money to go and pay 2 tickets to go back over and do because I had to do a driving test. I had to take out our learners. I had to pay for the reissue of my license. It's a whole set of mad thing. I come up to about $7,500 I had to find just to get back my license after doing the Arrive Alive course, right? Which was 2 days, the rehabilitation course. I done do that already. But I can't find the money. You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
everybody affected in some way, and I
What
just
you-
telling everybody it's time to
I
come
just want
together.
to find out. I just want to find out from you, my brother. What you did, you
Yeah.
give up your license or they call in and you want to
They disqualify my license.
What they did?
They send a letter to me saying that my demerit points have reached X, Y, and Z. Right? They would have sent a letter to my mailing address, which was my
Right.
parents' address. Right? Because I renting. I just be renting here, there, and every. So I don't really put, where I renting as a mailing address because it's subject to change. Right?
Yeah.
So my thing by my parents don't open my mail. So one would have came asking me to explain why and why. Right? I didn't get it. I didn't respond in time. That was 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks after the final notice came, I have 2 weeks to surrender my license. And I'm on a disqualification for 2 years. That what happened to me 2 years ago.
So did you
You understand? I was
surrender the
working for
license?
kiss making $4.75 a day.
And they said that the longer you stay to renew the license is a fine going up.
Yes, yes. If 30 days, one day over 30 days, you're going to pay $650 to renew your license. 6 months, 6 months, I think is $11 or $1,200. Right? And then it goes up and thing. I could be wrong about the 6 months, I think it's $1,700.
Let me ask you a question, brother. Within just now, hold on. Let me find out something from him now. Within the time period that you say your driver's permit was disqualified, did your permit expire within that time?
Yes. But what is going to happen when you're disqualified is that you will be reissued. So what I have to do, I have to go back through the whole process, like I applying for a new license. They're going to take out, I have to pay for learners, which is $175. I have to go with a driving school, right? Go up and do a driving test. I have to pay $450 to rent the car to do the test on the day. When I finish that and I pass, hopefully, right, I have to pay $1,000 now, right, to get my license. It's going to be a reissue. So, you understand what I'm saying? It's not going to say when your license expire within the space of time, and then you would have a late fee to pay.
That's under this new law, right?
Yeah.
Under this new law legislation. Mm-hmm.
What I really wanted to find out from you, did you give in to the license or they seize it when you went to get it renewed?
No, well, as a law-abiding citizen, they told me.
Did you give in to the license or when you went? Yeah.
Right, so I, as a law-abiding citizen, followed the instructions of what the licensing division said to me. I had 2 weeks, right, to surrender my license to the licensing department. Right? I think failure to do so, I could have ended up on a charge.
Whoa!
You see these one of the no, I don't want to instigate or incite anything, but you see these one of the problems that we have. One must be able to know his rights to transgress against the system. And many of us scared to transgress against the system. Hence the reason why everybody complaining. Laws are made for human beings. They are not made for dead people. And therefore, I personally, I wasn't going to give it up. They would rather come and look for me. We have to stand our grounds because at the end of the day, these are not even laws, these are statutes. Half of these laws contradict the rights contradict our human, or what you call our rights, our constitutional rights. Half of these laws contradict our constitutional rights. Yet, we willing to give in. We willing to talk, well, it's the government and it is the law and this, but it's not laws, it's statutes. That's why they keep moving the goalposts all the time. Now, where I haven't read the whole constitution, but I could borrow money to gamble that there is no way in our constitution that they not to give up their driver's permit.
I beg to differ. Here's what.
Say then so.
We don't remember they move away from the driver's permit system and we have a driver's license. At any given point in time, they could take away your license. That is why they change it from the driver's permit system
You
to
have
the
a
licensing
driver's
system.
license. But
Right?
So as an indigenous,
But it is, let me just say this, it is your constitutional rights for freedom and liberty. Freedom and liberty. The freedom, whether you choose to have a permit or you choose not to have a permit. At the end of the day, it still boils down to the fact that most of these laws, so-called statutes that they keep bringing, is contradicting our civil rights as human beings under our constitutional law. So you can't bend it or twist it. They could shift the goalpost 1,000 times.
I know if you have a suspended, like how the man say he had a suspended license, and if the police catch you with that suspended license, you could make 3 years in jail.
Ooh, that's the law now?
Yep.
Yes.
Jesus.
So once they catch you with that suspended license, you could get 3 years in jail because you're supposed to give back that to license office. That is no longer your own, that is license office own. Until he ban up. When he ban up, you gotta go back and reapply and do everything over again, and he will be issue a new driver's permit. Right.
And the laws what Kamala bring now will also add to that, where driving without a license and an insurance, you will be fined $10,000 on top of that.
Okay, so let me ask a question quick, right? We locking horns here hard. Who pay these people? We, the taxpayers, pay these people. So you are telling me that you are comfortable in paying people to oppress you. For me, time and time, you know that is the law say this and the law say that. It means that you are comfortable in your suffering. So why complain?
And people don't like to come out and make a stand. They don't like to come out and talk. They swear that the government
This is something that is ingrained in us. Comes from slavery times. This is a mental experience.
That's why the UNC government is
struggle is a thing that people glorify, and I don't like that.
That is why the UNC government is keeping the SOE there, so they're silent everybody. Because the minute you like rioting or starting inciting a riot, you will be arrested. So that's why the SOE is stayed in place. You understand? So they're silent, the people and them there. So anytime we speak, and it sounds like we inciting a riot or inciting to go against the government, we could be arrested. So that is why we can't protest, we cannot say nothing, we cannot do nothing, we just have to take it. Because we stand to being arrested.
Again. We can't. You see the we can't listen to me. You had to be intelligent in your decision making. Don't say you can't do this and you can't do that. Here's what going on.
People that don't start to talk about
one at a time, please. Let me
explain something to you. You see the we can't? Stop that we can't. Hear what going on. It have things that you could do that they cannot hold you accountable for. But you need the whole country to come together. A country without movement will totally shut down. You could get sick. Anybody could get sick. You understand? It have no special time for you to get sick. Boss, I can't come in today.
It's a numbers game.
You're sick for 3 days. And trust me, nothing moving is loss in the economy. You feel that our economy could take a 2 days or a 3 days hit? Come on.
No, we can't. For 1 day and them lost more than 100 billion. France economy crash. Macron had a come and
Sometimes I just want to say things, but I just be like, you can't say it because I don't want nobody to come and tell me, oh, you're trying to incite the people, you're putting ideas in people's head. Simple. Trust me, if only you know how I was thinking for election.
And protesting is alright, or are we living in a dictatorship where we can't do this?
You're not protesting, bro. That is not protesting.
No, you're not protesting.
You just get sick.
You just get sick, yes.
Man. Because it
is a type of protest.
That they lock you down for all them time, the pandemic, they lock you down for 2 years. So if I home and I get sick, oh God, I don't know what happened to my father, I ain't feeling good, boy.
Yeah.
And everybody that happening to, boy, I don't know what happened, boy, I ain't feeling
good. A nationwide diarrhea.
A nationwide diarrhea.
I just taken 3 days off.
And not inciting nobody to do nothing, you know.
No, everybody just...
Everybody coming together and taking some days and shut down.
We're shutting down nowhere. Why you keep on saying shutting down? We just eat some bad curry, brother. Everybody eat bad curry. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. That could happen.
Anyhow, people, I feel I say a little too much.
I said it some years ago.
It's a matter to back.
Everybody in Trinidad just get sick. Something come down for the carnival and we get sick.
No, but they're not Trinidadians are doing that. Carnival, everybody wants to be out there. We Trinidadians don't take nothing serious.
Not everybody, not everybody, because I feel like naturally, like I don't like carnival.
Yeah,
if I didn't have to work for carnival, honestly, I would not be outside. I don't like carnival. I don't like crowds on the whole. So you find you would not see me there.
I just find that the whole place just get gloomy, and we're feeling the sadness.
Because we are being told what to do. You know?
Yeah.
Only better pray and hope that this bill don't pass.
Yeah, because she called for senators to help pass the bill.
No, she didn't call for senators to pass the bill.
Senators.
She didn't call for them. You know. She demanded.
Yeah, she demanded.
Because if you don't do what she say, here we go on now. As it was the last prime minister who dared it.
Yeah.
In other words, that's what she said.
But then, all right, you want to lock down the place, all right? Special zone lockdown or whatever.
Yeah, be branded a PNM.
But then if it is you have police service, you could do a joint something with the police and them and the soldiers and let them go into the community because they have intelligence. They would know where the gang leaders are. They know everything.
No.
But then why lock down the people? Why take away our rights?
You see, take away.
And then you want to do that for 6 months.
Warrior, listen to me, right?
Some laws upon us.
Upon
us rights.
Warrior, I want to listen to what I say, right? Now you all realize that these people never had a crime plan in place. You all understanding that? Yes. Somebody phone.
Excuse me, I'm getting a call. I'm going to take that call and come.
Right. I want to know if all you realize that these people never had a plan in place. They never had anything set up if they won election to propel our nation to a brighter future. You all understanding that now?
Yes, totally.
It looked like they was shocked, honestly, like really shocked.
I just seen deja vu from 2010 because the same thing happened back in 2010. A lot of people lost their job and we went into recession also.
I think we need to go back to the polls, right, and have a more stronger opposition, because to whom much is given, much is expected. And you see the power that the authority that the UNC has right now by having the majority in parliament, it seems like they want to run a dictatorship in Trinidad. And I think having a stronger opposition, giving a little more seats and opposition in the parliament, will create a little more resistance in reference of bills passing for the benefit of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. I think we need to take away that privilege that we have given them, because they seem to be very abusive with it and don't care about the liberty and the livelihood of the normal man on the ground. You understand? Right now, it's the way things looking, it ain't looking good. The kind of precedents that they setting, we had to wonder how the next year going and look for Trinidad and Tobago. Serious oppression. Yeah, I honestly really advocating for a 2-day stay-at-home protest. You're staying in your house, you're not going to work, a nationwide diarrhea, and it's all to bring redress to the situations and the dissatisfactions of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. And from there, we could take it to file a motion of no confidence in this administration, because personally right now, from the way how everybody talking and their experiences, we don't have no confidence that this administration could fix it. Honestly, I personally don't have confidence that this administration know what they're doing and could fix it.
What is the opposition saying?
I think that the two parties reading from the same playbook, because based on what takes place in Venezuela, and looking back at the history of Venezuela where the resources is concerned, from 1956 till now, have we as citizens get value for money? I don't think we did. I don't think we did. So hence the reason why this country had to be bankrupt every 10, 15, 20 years. So the little bit of chump change we get from the resources, we have politicians that thiefing it out, and they still have to run back to IMF and borrow money, and the whole thing is just a shamble. So in my book, I think you should just forget the whole election thing. Because in 2026, election has now become an auction, seem to me. Every 5 years, the highest bidder. That is what it is. So whether you vote this one out or you're voting that, you would end up with the same playbook. Same playbook.
So what do you suggest? So what do you suggest in the absence of not? What do you suggest in the absence of not participating in a voting system?
Right, brother. For my personal opinion, the government has outlived the usefulness. What we need to have is representation of our area, and you have what you call whenever you have decisions to make, when you come together as it have a primitive word they used to use for it. You have a council. Yes, you come together, you create a council. The age of government are coming to an end. America right next door, they only could seat for listen.
Here what going on, right? What I'm saying, right? I'm gonna tell you this, we have to use a little common sense here. Everything is time. The length of time we talking about all the problems and the problems. Only one person come up here. I said, I tired of your problems, and that's hurt my head. It's a solution, and you have to be factual. I am going to tell all of this. We are living in Trinidad and Tobago. For the umpteen years, the little 39 years I have been living, there is only two parties. I've seen many other parties from Team Rainbow, everybody, all kind of thing. You understand? We cannot stay in with this government when we make a mistake. I'm being real with all, yeah? It's not going to make any sense. And the more longer time is valuable. So it's either we come up with a plan to say that we want our voices to be heard. We're not coming violence. It have nothing to do with violence. We're not going to mash up the country or thing. But I support the stay at home and protest and the petition, and I support that. And I will tell all of this. As my grandfather used to say, sometimes you take a step forward, but you had to go backward. Because as I say, you know, just rush your hand out the lion mouth, you just ease it out. And for so far, we never went through any of these things under the PNM government. That is how I see it. And if this coming out of my mouth, or let me be real, we did not see this time under the PNM government. Michaela, I'm going to say this, yes, Michaela may be a nice option, but Michaela is not doing any groundwork, right? The only person right now doing groundwork, as far as I see it, is the PNM. The PNM helping both UNC and PNM supporters right now, whether it's little hampers or whatever the case might be. And what we know about the PNM, we have been saying it through the election, they just take care of the people, his friend and family and this and that. But despite some of us were not PNM supporters, we still had our jobs. We were still able to provide for our families, even if we say, well, we only have $150 after in we account, we still could have lived our lives still. This is something serious. We were tricked, we were fooled. Exactly, right? And as I said, the PNM government didn't lie when they say certain. A lot of things they said, they didn't lie. They say they blatantly show you that they was not moving from the 5% to no 10% because they know it is impossible. We didn't know that. We watching them all they lying, all they this, all they that, right? But when Kamala reached here now, what Kamala is showing us is that, hey, what the PNM say, you have no money to pay that 10%, you know. So what I go do, I go add fines and taxes, like all these different things, like the fines for the road, the passports, the license, and all these different things. That still is exploiting money out of, remember we say, we was under pain. So now, if you meet we in pain, you can't look to take the little rest that we don't even have. To do what? You understand?
That is very true because you have people right now.
So you have to be factual. Even if it is all they say, no dog, no. We cannot say that in Uncle Rowley days. We not even living paycheck to paycheck because some of us who had jobs don't have no jobs. We have nothing. You understand? That is the funny thing. In Uncle Rowley days, we was living, we say we live in fortnightly, right? Now, we not even living at all. How the prices in the groceries, even if I could tell you this, the PNM would have, them used to be raising things until they would just talk about it and go about it and then study it because they used to take the time. They went get a triple heart attack, like, what the fuck going on here? Until they realize, hey, don't drive your car on the road. Leave your car park up home. The man talk about coal pot and bicycle, but who is the ones that are enforcing it here right now? Remember, they told us that Rowley them is the bad guy, and we ran with that. But who really looking like the bad guy right now? And something have to be done. Something that literally have. I'm not saying that Rowley, when Rowley came, Rowley just did things the way how he does things, and I used to say I probably think it's how he's a Scorpio. He do anything. I'm a Scorpio. But what? Let me be real. Think about it. I wanted to think about it. What did Rowley really do? Okay, he take back laptops. Okay, all right. He take back food cards. Okay. But people were still living. That is the idea I'm trying to show you.
The man.
And let me be real. With those same food cards, right? If the real people who supposed to get food cards wasn't getting food cards. You understand? Everybody was friend and family thing because I didn't have no food card. Me never had no food card. And I went and applied for food and never got any. You understand? And I was under Kamala time, so this is what I'm showing all here. We had to think factual and we had to think quick. That's just as it is.
I understand
Step have
what
a
you're
good
saying.
idea. And the next thing with the Stuart Young thing and let me tell you this, Ole, let me have some respect. Everybody know under the PNM is Penelope. Everybody was expecting. My mother, everybody. And when they gave us Stuart Young, because I'm telling you, whether they like it or not, all the ladies, we not into that man. Just tell them, yeah. Right, sorry, thanks. Right? Why is it? Oh, wow. I'm gonna mute you one time. Yeah, right. Under the whole Stuart Young, I'm telling you, I have nothing against Stuart Young because I don't know him personally, right? But I am telling you, knowing Trinidad and Tobago, probably some women who want to, and this is no way to disrespect you, I'm telling you, women watching you probably will open the leg for me and like, okay, you don't know of the fella, right? But I am telling you, once they put you there, once Stuart Young there, that's not happening. I tell you, if Penelope, if Rowley they put Penelope, Kamala would have get a fight. It's woman, I'm telling you. I just pay attention, it's patterns here, I pay attention. But what Rowley did is what he fleck up that kind of play there. He fleck up that play there, and people was just not happy. It was too much for the people, and people just wanted to vote for the UNC because everybody was emotional. Some people would know where they got through under the UNC, but a lot of people had voted. We voted off of emotions, you know? You can't say out of emotions and things. And one thing people always say is that my father used to say, do not make decisions when you're emotional. Wait till you cool down. It's like beating a child when you're vexed. Don't beat a child when you're angry. You advantage a child. You wait till you cool down and you still could be the child. But wait till you cool down and you can tell the child why they get licks. You understand? And you wouldn't be the child. You wouldn't be that abusive then.
People thought when they vote for the UNC, they would have been better off.
Yes, I thought so too.
That's what people vote for.
I just want to share something.
Mute all your mics, please. Mute all your mics too.
Yeah, I just want to share something with your Kitty and I hear say, but hear me out here. These two political parties has been, well, since after pandemic, these two political parties has been very reckless over the years. And at some point in time, we would have reached right where we is here. And I would say that to say, Caroni, when they closed down Caroni in 1975, you know how much things Caroni used to produce? You know much stuff. Caroni never used to just produce cane and rolling. There are a lot of government institutions that would have benefited the people in the past that they closed down from time to time. All because of the so-called 1% believe that they want to own everything. That is another conversation by itself. But the point I'm making is that at some point in time, we would have bound to reach right where we are here today. It's just unfortunate that the UNC is the one that we put the trust in, and they are the one that carried it out. Caroni never used to just make sugar alone. Caroni used to make rum. People never used to drink puncheon, so it's back 19, everybody used to be drinking long ago. And since they closed on Caroni, they take all those franchise from Caroni and they give it to other institutions, maybe Fernandez, Angostura, whoever they give it to. So I'm saying to you that yes, I personally have supported UNC for years. I've supported UNC since under Pandey. And the UNC I know under Pandey is totally different to the UNC we are now. But apart from all of that, our problem would have basically start back, I should say, in 2000, 2001, 2002 when Patrick Manning was in government. And we would have reached to this point at some point in time. It's as simple as that. You can't tell me all these resources you have here. You have a GDP at $28 billion a year, and the GDP surpassed the citizens, and all of we still live in hand amount. 70 to 80 to 90%. Wrong, you know. It has people that have money, you know. Those fat you see in there is people who have it.
Yeah.
But they don't have no middle class anymore. So it reached to a point where it have those who have and could afford, and it have
those who don't have.
Just cannot afford because they just don't have. So we would have reached to this point at some given point, whether under UNC, under PLM, because these two political has been delinquent for the last 25 to 50 years in terms of the expenditure and how they're managing country resources. They're telling us to close down Petrotrin and you go on and close it down. The next one pulling out a fire truck from a gully for what? For 2 million and 3 million. What kind of madness we hearing on this place here?
Yeah, but my thing is this, right?
We have to understand.
If the government seeing the state of the economy, right? And they know we're going downhill and all of that. Why still come and bring all these hefty fines on the poor people and you take away the bread and butter from them? So then, how are they paying these bills? That's my thing. How? Because when you look up a man, if he can't pay his charge, he fine, and you put him in jail, and you slaughter mine him in the jail?
Them don't care nothing about that. Them don't care. Listen, this is a 1986. You older than me, Warrior Princess Aisha. This is a 1986 all over again and even 10 times worse. They said Chambers don't see, but at least Chambers had the mindset to buy Trintok, which was Petrotrin, was Petrotrin back then before they closed it down. That is one of the very good things that PNM would have done because of Chambers. After that, this is 1986 we and all over again. So you can't tell me every 10, 15, 20 years we have to face a bankrupt. So much time we go through this. How much times we would go through this? Everybody on this chat would have people who born in 2000 now facing the shaft. Plenty of them don't even know how much we used to pay $1 for a doubles long time. $1 for a juice. I used to call it the Pandy era. And when I was a little fella growing up, I used to pay 75 cents for a current show.
Yeah, I remember that.
$1 for 10 dinament and all kind of thing. 50 cents for $1 sweet drink.
$1.50 for bread and all.
$1.50 for bread. $3.50 for a stag.
Yeah.
4 hops.
4 hops for $1 or something like that. So these is things that we would have experienced. So why? Listen, to make it short and sweet, my grandmother has always say, when your neighbor house on fire with yours. We used to laugh long time when we hear Americans doing 2 and 3 jobs in over there. Not me. I can't do that.
But we don't even have the 2 and 3 jobs down here with everything going through. So the thing is, where they expect the people to get the money to pay them fines?
The age of government, they have outlived the usefulness, and the pleats, the chink in the armor, we seen the crack in the wall. We seen the crack in the wall. Because we can't be mining all your tax free and all your oppressing me. We can't do that.
We watching license office, right? They say go and get your car inspected, get your car up to date, right? Or you're taking all the licensing officers and them and putting them out 4 or 5 o'clock on the road to ticket people, and all you're doing have license officers to inspect your vehicle in licensing office. You understand? When you go there in license office, is a long line, people coming there from 8 o'clock tonight to be in line just to get a vehicle.
I see some people sleeping in the vehicle by the road.
Look,
how none of that enrich on TikTok. How nobody in showing them long lines.
Yes, it's all over. You must see it.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Caroni, Porter, Spain,
yes.
Lines.
I didn't see nothing on Facebook, nothing. I hear about it, but
I don't know. But no license. And when the license officers come back, them coming to watch your vehicle in the line to charge you.
Yeah. Look how they lock down. Look how they lock down the market, the wholesale market.
Look how they lock down the market. We talking about the PNM and the PNM. I vote for the UNC, right? But I feel we are better on that, Dr. Rowley, because right now, Dr. Rowley said tightening a belt, but at least we wasn't under all these fines and on all.
I don't know about you. I don't know about you, but I don't settle for mediocrity. You understand? This country have enough resources in the past and in the present. We shouldn't even. Let me tell you something. The government should be the last. The government should be the last people to talk about inspection of vehicle. Because them there's a vehicle running up and down, them are government, some of them government vehicle, they are insurance, they are sticker, they are nothing. Them should be the last.
It's just like what Ian Allen say. Who police officer are going and stop a minister vehicle or a family vehicle to tell them about anything about inspection or anything about a vehicle? Them not getting stopped is the man on the ground who have to face it. Them ministers and their family.
That's what I'm saying. They should be the last to talk about inspection of vehicle. Look at the condition of the road.
And all of them don't be in traffic, you know.
You paying tax.
And them have
paying tax for down in a pothole.
Kamla and them have a big motorcade. And them don't be in traffic or nothing like that, you know. We had to face the traffic. We had to face the pothole. And the vehicle with Kamla using, if anything happened to it, she take up our next one tomorrow. You understand? We don't have that. She working for $85,000 a month. She ministers and I'm getting $65,000 a month. It have people. Don't forget
she fixed she pension and she went in government too.
And they say in this country,
we need to stop minding politicians. That's what we need to stop doing.
I can't take her.
We need to stop following them up. We need to stop feeling so. We need to.
All right, let me let other people get a chance to talk to.
So all I want to say is that I hear in everybody and everybody's perspective and opinion and contribution is very important. Yeah, but I is the type of person, I don't like to get myself caught up in repetition, you understand, of things. We just sit down and we just talking, and we sit down and we just talking, and we sit down and we just talking. You understand? Everybody ranting, everybody has something to say because everybody affected. But at what point we going to really sit down and have the discussions about what do we do? How do we do it? What are the options on the tables that are lawful that we can exercise as a people in order to affect change? You understand? I listened to my brother talking just now about UNC and PNM and everything and giving us a history and everything. And that's all well and good. You know, from hearing what he's saying, to me you're suggesting we need constitutional reform. This is the conversations we need to be having right now, because you're saying the government with governance being played out, right? And the UNC and the PNM thing being played out. So now, what conversations do we have to educate the people in a way to know what are our options and how do we go about affecting change in a different, because we can't go about doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. At some point we have to do something different, right? To get a different result. They want to talk about Stuart Young and them getting a Kobo sweat as a prime minister. I think right now we can get the UNC a Kobo sweat. You understand? And go down in history as the shortest government to win election by a landslide. You understand? And then the people vote them out. The people come and sign a motion and no confidence. You understand what I'm saying? These are the type of discussions I want to have right now. I'm not putting down nobody with the contribution in reference of the things that they're going through, because that is very important. You understand? In the whole building up of things. But I want us to have a little more constructive conversation as to the options that we have available, the lawful options that we have, where it is we can petition the government, you understand, or demand from them, change or redress. Right? So that's just all I say. Thanks.
I agree with you 100%. The same how all our TikTokers and the same how all our we came out and talk against and get people to vote for the UNC. The same how we could come out now and just do like with the same brother say. come out and the people petition against his government and with no confidence and get him out of office.
Yeah, but the question I asking, who in the political arena right now is on the side of the people? Who?
Nobody.
So we hear nothing from PNM, we ain't hear nothing from
Actually, I would say, but you can't say nobody. The only person doing groundwork will obviously was the PNM because the PNM doing their groundwork right now, right? Michaela's not doing any groundwork, right? Michaela is not really doing any groundwork. Michaela is somebody I like, you know, but Daisy thing, you have to get people who doing the groundwork. So, as I say, I think we have to take a step back in order to really go forward. You know,
who is the opposition?
Because
who is the opposition?
Penelope Beckles.
So what Penelope? What she saying? What she saying? Nothing at all in here. Nothing from she. She taking up nothing. No kind of storm.
Well, no, she has. I think she have a this meeting thing. When it is Lover, I think you was talking about it. Lover was saying, is it 20?
Thursday,
yeah.
For 5:30 at Queen's Hall.
Well, you know, Kitty, I think you have to invite one of them people and them to come up on your live, boy. Some one of them ministers, we have to pray to them. Hey, look, we want.
Yeah, because the only people we really have is Penelope and what's her name, Michaela. And to how I have been watching politics for the longest while, I don't see Michaela look like she's going to end up joining up with the PNM. So you have to think that their choices are limited. That's the thing. And the only person doing groundwork and going out there again, you and see people hampers and this and that and even trying to get jobs so people would be the PNM right now. And yes, people will say obviously they will because remember, they're in opposition right now. They have to correct the mistakes of Rowley and all that kind. They have a lot of work to do. Yeah, but with the UNC at being real and keeping them would be suicide, you know? Yeah, would be suicide to our nation.
You see, now starting, we don't know what's going to happen for the next 4 years.
Well, she out, but
you know,
she come out on the live and talk to you, Jake. Come out on the live and talk to
Penelope,
any one of them.
Well, I don't think she does be on these lives and things. I ain't sure much about them things.
They still have to call for them. Whether they hear, whether they do or not, that the word go reach them that they getting called for.
Well, it'd be nice if she probably do that because I mean, you know.
Because this voice is.
It'd be nice to get.
This voice is not your voice, is not just. You know what I mean? Your voice all over the world.
If only believe that.
Somebody say ask Sharon Felix.
If only believe that diplomacy is still on the table, all right.
I think Sharon wanted to do
diplomacy is out the window.
Well, that's the only thing that could be on the table, right?
So,
that's where you're living in a democracy.
But it's on the table, but it's out. But it's always democracy that how we were we is. That's imperialism to the highest.
Something got to give, yes.
Yeah,
the biggest country in the world promotes.
Now, so you gotta
the biggest country that promotes democracy. Look at how they treat their own citizens.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I can't afford to be, not because somebody tell me to jump off a mountain, I have to subscribe to that. Nah. That ain't good enough at all. You can't tell me, you can't gain the shit on the plate and tell me it's great. I can't take that. So, it's okay to feel that it's okay to believe that diplomacy is on the table. I don't have a problem with that, but for me, I think diplomacy is out the window a very long time ago. Because clearly this administration is in office. They are not even being tempered by the laws and traffic fines that they are passing. You know, it's just basically like, you know what, let's take that.
Them just making up the laws as they go along, as they see fit.
No, that is American laws.
Yeah, but you can't bring that in Trinidad yet. You have to develop your
a couple of years ago, when he is a male in Georgia, when he is a boy and you're under 25, you pay more insurance monthly than a girl who is under 25. If they catch you driving without a license and registration,
listen to me. I understand all of that. The rule is the rule, but we're talking about the exorbitant amount of fines that people can't pay.
That's where it's going to be. So it's either you can't pay. I talk about that one time here with the judge say, so how much money you going to lose for the year you don't have your license? How much money you could have made? 80,000? Oh, well, okay. Well, next time, think about how much money you could lose while driving before you make the mistake and drive.
But that's extortion.
Yeah.
That's extortion.
I made that mistake again, though. You see what I'm saying?
You looking at it from an individual perspective. We are looking at it as a nation of people. It is extortion to the highest.
Yeah, because people can't afford to buy food,
The fines
that's what they're saying. If you can afford to drive, if you can afford to pay insurance,
let's be real. Let's be real. Let's be real. We are human beings. We are human beings, and the bottom line is the fines are unrealistic. It doesn't make sense.
Only again, I call me. Pause me.
It's not even practical.
I don't know why nobody can be put to call me now.
Yeah, go ahead, big man.
Driving has now become a privilege instead of a right. That is what it is going on here.
But that is what it is. That is exactly what they're going to tell you. Driving is a privilege, and if you don't take heed, you will lose that privilege. You see what I'm saying?
Do you think that's justified?
It might be justifiable, but it is what it is. It's a man who been speeding down the highway 120 miles an hour and killing people.
Listen. Let me tell you this, right? In every part of the world, in every ethnic group and every society, you will always have people that are breaking the law and always creating mischief. However, the majority of these fines are going to affect most people, which is the people who is trying to work within the law. The lawmakers and the lawbreakers, they only maximize their ability not to get caught in it. And 70 to 80 to 90% of the time, they don't get caught. But you know who does face the full shaft? The law-abiding citizen.
That's how it works.
But that can be, that doesn't make it right.
That's how it works.
Doesn't make it right. No, that doesn't make it right.
No, I'm not saying, no, I'm not agreeing that it's right to know, but I'm telling you.
But then you can't lament and say that is how it works.
Yeah,
because
but that's what
means,
telling you, that's how it works.
But it means that you're comfortable.
Yeah,
no, but that's how it works. That's the thing. Whether you don't like it or not, that's how it has always been. And it isn't right, but it is what it is.
Yeah, so you have to find a way now to make a change in that system that already
Make a change by how? So just now they will start, they will charge you for breathing too hard or coughing in public?
No, but that the whole
yeah,
thing.
but okay. But that's what Seth was saying. We thinking about solutions. We keep complaining, and we still not reach our place where we can agree to say, yeah, what's going on. Wednesday and Thursday we stayed home. Everybody stayed home.
Yeah.
2 days.
But Kitty, this is the problem.
Are you willing to?
Kitty, this is the problem right here. You cannot have an effect on a system when there are people that are just complacent and comfortable in their own suffering. How you going to do?
So what you're saying, well, you come in like and you trying to tell me that it's hopeless. So you still complaining. You're not trying
No,
Let me be real. Complaining or trying.
I will make me as an individual, I have already set a standard to do certain things, which is to transgress against this whole system. I have made a personal decision to do that. There are certain things that I can solve.
You see just like what you say there? What you say? That we stay home 2 days, 3 days.
Individual, you're not effective as an individual. You're more effective as a body of people. So we have to come to like an agreement. You know? And it's okay if it doesn't, they don't agree, but the complaining just it making me feel like we talking about everything because we know the fines, we know it's this, we know what's wrong. In order to fix anything, we have to come to we can't live in denial stage. We fucked up, okay. Children will always be red, yellow. Plenty of we want a new party. Plenty of we want a new party long time. Michaela is a new party. She's not doing the groundwork. And it doesn't happen like that. Now, what may happen is Michaela may, because that what has always happened, Michaela may join up with the PNM. You understand?
What about the senators?
I was saying she might have joined up with UNC, eh?
Nah. We're not paying attention. She go join up with the PNM. And when we reach up with the, when she join up now with PNM, let me be real, now we have PNM and UNC. What your choice is going to be. That's just it. You can't move, let me tell you what fuck up. You could never move forward in a situation is because let me be real, everybody not going. You see, if Michaela was really doing groundwork, yeah. But right now the PNM doing the groundwork. Right now people vulnerable. So you have to watch what's going on with the people. It's not just only what you want to know. You feel that people want to put the PNM back. But we cannot continue to have this what is going on. Otherwise, freedom is going to be taken. We can't come here and voice we own opinion, which wasn't going on in Rowley them days. So instead of we saying now here, we have to know what it is we're going to do moving forward. We're not going to be this chaotic kind of system where we keep and this and that. We could talk about it, but when we know what we are doing, and after that, yeah.
But in reality,
after you make.
In reality, we had them there for 5 years, right? But we could traumatize them for the local election.
That's why I was asking. What about the local election? Like.
Yeah, we could
do that them for 5 years. So for the local election, we have to come out with the numbers.
Well, no, we know that for sure. For local election, we know that one for sure. But from now, what is we plan? Because if that bill really reach to that point, darling, I am telling you, everybody have to hush. Everybody's going to have to hush their mouths. And let me tell you this, don't sit down and ball, because every time they will say, oh yeah, we have to do something, and cowards them sit down and mutter it, when people were actually telling all hey, we need our voices to be heard. I'm not telling you to go and stone down no minister or go and cuss out no minister, but we want to tell them it is pain. We cannot handle this no more. We are traumatized, and we need you guys to listen, and you're not listening. And that's the problem with the government.
I find with the traffic fines, all the drivers and them should park up their
Exactly. Taxi drivers.
I said that the other day, and I also stated that it have people that know local, right?
Bring record.
Get to the people at the PNM, to the people at the PNM, and try to get some kind of meeting with people. You understand? Bring PNM back down on the grounds, let them know how the citizens feeling.
You know.
No, but PNM actually is working on it. Actually, PNM right now, because I telling you the truth, the PNM is working on the ground. You are seeing them moving through the areas, finding out where they went wrong, what were their mistakes, even lazy Brian Manning, right? And I am telling you, they are doing the groundwork. Michaela now, she not doing any, she just there talking on, as again, the Facebook. And it's not like I like Michaela, I'm not going to tell, I'm being real. But Trinidad, we're not even ready yet. I tell it all not ready yet. Because if all it watching a decision like this and we cannot think of our emotions, we have to just think about what is right and weigh out certain stuff. Wait as we say here what's going on. This was going on here and this is going on here. This was going on here and this is what's going on here. And we realize here what's going on. We may need to take a step back. We may need to take a step back in order to go forward. And people have to understand this. Because any longer, I am telling you, even if a party come again, it's going to be worse because the length of time, if this is going on here now, what do you think will happen within now to 5 years? We need to do something as citizens, you know. And nothing to the whole
that 3 days.
Emotional.
Take that 3 days. Shut it down for 3 days and then see what happens. Then after I start that petition.
I think that government, I think the PNM or the opposition to the UNC just have to lay all their feet in that pain drink, you know. This is the result of the choices that all they make. You know what I mean? You know, never mind we get fooled and all that, but this is just how it goes up until the time come around again to make the change. You know, I have a daughter that was working deep in the government.
But the devil you know than the devil you don't know.
Yeah, I have a daughter that was working deep in the government, and she's young, she's pretty educated, and I encourage she like and she's a doggler. You know what I mean? So I encourage. I said, so why don't you like form a new party or you know what I mean? And she was saying that, boy, that I'm gonna tell you the people in Trinidad and Tobago, they're really in together. They're not unified. You know what I mean? And they're not really ready for change. You know, anytime you press them a little bit, they start to cry and bawl. They ain't really want no change. Because change require pain. You know what I mean? I had no answer for she really. You know, so she say, well, let's have to wait until the next 5 years and see. You know? You had to start do the groundwork until for the local elections and then let your voices be heard. But we all had a plan for that. And right now it's hard to plan for it in the sense of the matter because ain't nobody making no money. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody really want to come out.
Oh God, who is this? But then already jobless.
Yeah, ain't nobody making no money, so nobody ain't coming out and saying nothing. Everybody's suffering right now. Everybody. So if you have to make a stand and you can't feed yourself, then you can't really make no stand. If you
Royal Prince.
To eat every day.
Just now, I want to address Royal Prince. Royal Prince, let me tell you this. This is, I don't want you to think in a place of being emotional, but you have to think factual. In Trinidad, it's red and yellow. Michaela would have a good chance if she was really doing ground, and she's not. Right? We're in a situation, what do you want to do? The only thing we could do is take a step back to go forward. Because let me be real, people were having food and people had their jobs. You understand? I cannot think emotionally. It has people don't like what they went through, but let me be real. I want you to think about it, what it is you really went through compared to this government here. Let me be real, Rowdy talking down in a kind of way, insultive. All the programs were up. and running. Even the jobs were running. We were getting paid on time. Pensioners was getting the money on time. No problem. No problemo at all. None. All of a sudden now it's all kind of problems. And the answers is, PNM people in all kind of different boards and we can't fire them. That making any sense? That making any sense? Let me be real. If it is we say, well, all right, the PNM evil, the UNC evil, let me be real. We was under the evil before. This evil here is more evil. So better we go back to that evil and see how we can clear the sky, because it's not Rowley, you know, it's Penelope. So, I mean, come on, we have to think. We have to think. And what Seth is saying, we coming up with solutions and not just complaining and you're saying, okay, we want fresh blood, we want fresh this. What fresh blood are going on here? If this is what you have, this and this is what you have, and you had to remove this, what are you going to put? Not this. That is what you have. Until probably better can be done.
The Chinese man is saying now, when the man and them was setting up the foundations, if you don't train to be a shoemaker, you can't be a shoemaker. If you don't train to be a politician, you can't be a politician. So in other words, we need people, or whether it be the PNM or whoever, to assist in training people to get them more comfortable with the political system that you're working with. Because the lay people, like me and you, we don't really know how the political system really works.
So then, Royal, just now, remember we have people in the comment section. So then, Royal, what you're saying is, if you don't vote, I want you to understand. Let me say nobody decide to vote. The same UNC staying there, no?
Yeah.
And the situation was, come on, that you have to come out of your emotional state, right? Yeah, you have to. You have to make a, I mean, you don't have to, but just remember, if you don't make a choice, you are the one that is responsible for what is taking place. Now, that's the thing with voting, eh? That's the guilty part about it, with me now, boy. Yeah, so you had to make a choice. You in an emotional state with PNM and UNC. I was in an emotional state with PNM, but let me be real. This is not just about you. This is about everyone. The people. The people, somebody messaging my there. No. Oh, all right. Good. Can't go and do no live on Facebook right now, people. Only have to view me here. So create an account or some kind of thing and try to get in. Yeah. You understand? You have to think. We can't be saying now, yeah, oh God, and the PNM this and the UNC this. That is just depression. And they just get more sick and more sick. When we come up with a solution, we could now move forward. You understand?
If you have no license, you can't drive the car.
Because with those road fines, with those grocery prices, I am telling all you, I really not seeing it with the UNC. And all you know, I support them hardcore. I am not seeing it. I am not seeing it at all.
So when you die, 500, that's it. You understand? You can't even die in peace. Everything's going on. It's time for you to stop complaining and do like what Ms. Kitty says. It's time for you to start take action. And it's just like what you say, under the PNM, yeah, it was hard, but under this UNC it was.
only to remember too that we hold if this bill pass, we could forget about a lot of things. We just have to sit down and take it. Just sit down and take it. So I only need to know how serious this is. Trinidadians doesn't take things serious until it really starts to affect their homes. But I need us to start to care more for each other in the sense. I know it's not just about me, it's not just about you, but it's everyone, everybody.
We had to put country first instead of
party. Exactly.
That's what we have.
Because it's both Africans and East Indians in some form of we have to pay the price. Both of us.
Unless you have money, it will not affect you. If you're man on the ground, and poor people, it affect you right now. You see, once you have money, you can pay the fines, you can do what you want to do. If you have no money, that's the people who would affect you.
True.
And it's the people on the ground who have to come out and get serious and come together and everything something.
Yeah. The poverty different now. I see Naya on the live. Naya wanted to add something. I think he was talking about the UNC and PNM thing. Naya.
Yeah, everybody, good night.
Good night.
Yeah, I wanna say something. I don't know. It's so difficult to get out of this two-party PNM UNC thing. This thing was done from inception, where as a country we're not united. We were divided from the time of independence with the race, the division with race, right? The political division is among race, and both sides just using that to benefit themselves. You see, the country not united, all the problems we facing, we would not get out of it. We will continue down the same road, just going in a circle, right through. And I saw somebody put up something earlier on social media, and it's factual. So Faris Al-Rawi was saying something possibly yesterday or today about some statements the Prime Minister was making. And he thought it's so bad that she had to make those kind of statements about not attacking the energy companies and saying about they all self-serving and only look out for the interests of contractors and not the country, and she not attending the energy conference. But the man was pointing out that, I don't know if you all know this, that same Faris Al-Rawi, which you all think was benefiting from those big building rentals under the PNM, that didn't start with the PNM. That started with the People Partnership. It's a game they're playing. Everybody there to fix themselves. So putting back PNM won't make a difference. Penelope Beckles is a face of a party, that people behind the scenes pulling the strings. The business class and the banks who just tell them what to do. Why do you think we know all these problems, these difficult economic problems? Because both the PNM and UNC borrow so much that we're in this difficulty with debt. Right now, the country's GDP to debt ratio is about 80 or 85%. I saw somebody put up something again, I believe it's factual. That is why the finance minister Tanku, but he made some statements recently. The government told it that they can no longer borrow locally in the local market. So they're going outside to borrow $1 billion US. And possibly we might really be in the hands of the IMF. And how did we reach that state? Not in the last. I'm not saying that I agree with these draconian, harsh policies of the current UNC government, but all these problems did not start in the last 8 or 9 months. Both of them contributed to it. Right? That's why we're in such difficulties. And we had to look at things from a different perspective.
So what is your solution?
My solution said we touched on that earlier. All this set of games they're playing could continue because of how the constitution is structured too. And they only talk about it, but they won't go to the next step to make those changes with this constitutional reform. Basil Pani first started talk about it about 20 years ago. But that is not something that's done over 2 years and 3 years. That is done That is done over a period of time. That can take 5 and 10 years. That is not just a quick fix. So how the
All right,
Constitution
so
it suits them who in position. You realize these career politicians for the last 15 and 20 years, 25 years, the same people in Parliament. It's a game.
All right. So, as I say again, what is your solution? Because we had to come with a solution. We can't just complain and
yeah, but we divided.
If we don't vote, we leave in UNC in power.
Yeah, but we divide. The problem is the division, the racial division. But for the country, I mean, everybody feeling it on regardless of whether you're red or you're yellow or even you're neutral. You're feeling it right now, the whole country. But there is something that could be done. But again, we're too divided. I think this man said, being nosy guy, that is the anarchist. He spoke about that when he saw last year. Right? He talked about, I think they could have something like a referendum if the country comes together and demand it, through, there could be petitions and that kind of thing. But again, we're divided. And again, we can't even come together and protest because they have a state of emergency in place. And they keep on extending it. So we not real
keep extending it because the people are divided. People wasn't divided and put down their feet. Because no time we reach a place where we go sit there, they carry the country like we call it the queen, because.
But we still under the influence of the crown. We still under the influence of the crown because legal matters still have to go to the Privy Council. So we still not, and we are still a Commonwealth. So we still not detached from them.
But now, like I tell, as I say, I don't know what to tell all here, but we had to come up with a plan, and I think Seth need to run this live because I tired say the same thing. I tired hear the same thing. I tired hear PNM. I tired hear UNC. I just want to know what is the plan. Are we going,
Let's stay home for 2 days.
Yeah, that is,
I have been saying that we need to start to create. Yeah. We need to start to exercise our rights and start to exercise also the unity aspect of things. We need it. We can't get constitutional reform by being divided. So we also understanding that factor and the reality of that. This is where we need to, within the small groups, start to exercise. A 2-day stay home, a protest here, we boycotting this, we boycotting that. We start to get the people involved in the affairs of the country. And I've been saying that since the campaigning season, right? I've been saying that we need to come together as a people and we need to take liability for where we are as a nation. We can't keep blaming UNC and PNM, right? When we have been inactive, passively aggressive, when are we going to assert ourselves as a people and get involved in our affairs? If we stop participating, everybody talking about the high fines and the thing in licensing division, but yet still everybody line up in front of licensing division from 5 a.m. until. At what point we going to stop participating and say, no, this is unfair and this is unreasonable? And we're not giving our money to support that. It is unreasonable. Seek public consultation for what is fair for the people across the board. That every man have an opportunity to pay the fees and the fines. It's supposed to be fair. But we continue to talk about it. Using the platforms again. This is just another platform again. Right? That just like other platforms, the persons expressing the dissatisfaction, but yet still we're not talking solutions. I have no problem listening to anybody talking about how they're affected and whatever, because you're not in the boat by yourself. Everybody in the same boat. But when are we going to be having the discussions of this is what we're going to do? Let me suggest a date. How we going to protest? How does constitutional reform come about? What do we have to do as a people? And really start to push the narrative. Start to push the narrative. We could change the government in the morning. And I believe personally, PNM is not the answer, you know. But here, why I believe? I believe setting a precedent that any administration that come there, the minute you feel that you could run an unfair game and hoodwink people, we will come together and we will vote you out. And we will start again. So with that now, they're seeing the people now becoming empowered and utilizing the power that the Constitution provides for them and mobilizing themselves, being active in the politics and the affairs of the country. They could no longer do certain things and get away because they know the people will come together and exercise their power which the Constitution gives them. Right? So for me personally, it's our levels to the thing. They can't just jump understanding the reality of and the culture of our situation as Trinbagonians, and especially under politics and how we respond to it. We need to start from a place and start to exercise unity of the people and start to affect change.
No job loss under the PNM.
Say again? Say again?
You can repeat yourself.
I heard somebody
was talking about some job loss.
No, I would have been talking to people very well informed and knowledgeable about what's going on outside here. Right? And personally, PNM and UNC is cut from the same cloth. They are run by the same financiers in the background. UNC is an extension. The UNC is an extension of the financiers of PNM. Right? And the sources that would have come and enlighten me on these things, you understand? I trust that source. So I know what it is. But this is for me an opportunity to manipulate the system, right? And empower the people and stop being hoodwinked and stop being inactive as a people, because our Constitution says that we have the power and the administration is the ones that are sworn into office. There's not the government, you know. The people of Trinidad and Tobago is the government. You understand? And we need to exercise our power. The administration have no power. They have authorization. But who authorizes them to do it? The people. And if we do not participate, and if we stand together, united, we could affect change in any way we see it fit. But this is what I'm keep advocating. We need to start with simple, basic exercises. Boycotting. Dealing with the big businesses. We're not supporting this. We're not supporting that. We're boycotting Prestige Holdings. We're boycotting this. I'm just saying, if you say we're boycotting Prestige Holdings for a week to bring attention to the situation in a protest, that is what we're doing. We're utilizing the tools that is within the confines of the law to bring attention to our dissatisfaction. And until we could start to exercise that as a people, we wouldn't go anywhere. We'll just continue to sit down, take what it is to give, come on the platform, rant and rave, I going through this, you going through that, and then tomorrow we back facing it again. In the same boat, participating. At what point are we going to stop? Under psychology, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. At what point are we going to regain our sanity as human beings, understanding our own inalienable right? Not only terms and conditions under license and privileges, because at the end of the day, you have a right to protect yourself and your family. Stand your ground law came another legislation to provide means for you to have a firearm and stand your ground in case of home invasion. But that is your inalienable right. Again, we participated in things, signing to terms and conditions. You understand what I'm saying? We don't even know what's going on. We basically signing away with rights as human beings, and we don't know what it is going. We being hoodwinked because we participating. They can come and take away my license because I signed to their terms and conditions under licensing division. But as a human being, my inalienable right is to travel from point A to point B. and you cannot restrict my right to travel from point A to point B. That would be considered duress. But again, we signed to terms and conditions that is not benefiting us. So at what point are we going to stand up and start to come together, unify, as simple as it is? If we say we boycotting this year, this week, that is the agenda we pushing. We boycotting all prestige holdings, we boycotting Massy stores, we boycotting this. We're doing that for the week. We're starting to exercise the people's power. Because to go in the street right now under SOE, they're going to gas we, they're going to abuse we, they're going to kill we, they're going to find all kind of thing and then justify it. Do we all kind of thing and justify it? Right? Because there are legislations to back them up and to support them. So, at what point now, we are going to exercise our rights and still be within a safe zone? So this is why I'm suggesting we can't protest in the streets, but we could protest with $1 by not spending it. And Trinidad and Tobago is in no position to lose any more productive days. We have enough holidays through the year that makes no money, or only certain people benefit. So if we stay home and restrict our labor and restrict our dollar in an agenda to bring attention to the dissatisfaction within the licensing division situation with the high fees and fines and the unemployment of CPEP, URP, forestry, I think that is a good place to start. That is my suggestion in moving forward and bringing a solution to the table. Because everybody is affected and everybody have a story to tell. Everybody have a story to tell right now. Right? And we can't continue to go down this road just entertaining stories and not doing anything. Old people say, do not complain about what you permit. We are permitting for far too long, right, a type of behavior within our politics that doesn't serve us as a people. And at what point are we going to mobilize and exercise our power? Right? So this is what I'm saying. And I hope persons can understand and we could start to have discussions around that. I willing to hear dates, suggested dates. I willing to hear where we starting to boycott. And if we could come to an agreement on this platform tonight. I know 74 people that's on the live could say here what's going on. This week here we boycotting this, we boycotting that, and we boycotting this. They go tell the friend, they go tell the families, another household on board. It's not just one person. Everybody attached to a household. Everybody have a loved one. You understand that they could influence. So for every person here, you could double it by 2 or 3. That's a good place to start. We need to start somewhere. Exercising our power. Right? So that's my contribution there.
Said me good night. Good night to the panel again. Kitty Cat, good night. They were listening on the live. Said me, I would like to applaud you for standing up with your brother, Jason, on the perceived threat from our minister. Yeah, so not threat, but disrespect from our minister. You see, we must reach our point here in Trinidad and Tobago. Just as you're saying, any administration do shit, we must stand up and speak our minds concerning that. You see, the only legal body now that could pull we out of this, or that could align ourselves with now to come out of this, is the opposition. Plain talk, bad manners. And why I'm telling you that is that they under the constitution, we don't have things like referendum and thing. And for the mere factor that many of us would have go hard against the PNM, we feel in a kind of way. And we constantly hearing people, boys are 2 parties. Yes, it's a 2-party system in Trinidad. Regardless of what 2 parties are there. Let me say our next party come there and the next party is in opposition. That is how it go and be until thy kingdom come. It don't have no 3-party system nowhere around the world. It's either one is in government and the other one is in opposition. And anytime you have something that is opposing to the views of the government, the strongest alignment is always with the opposition. So when people come in here and talking and saying, boy, you see the opposition, and the opposition, let me don't think that is the only legal body. But the people now could force the hand to sign a bilateral agreement that they will do certain things when they go into power. Now, the only person really and truly the UNC ever did that with is with the union. They didn't do that with no citizen. I hear who they do it with the union. They have a bilateral agreement with the union. If they assist them, this is what will happen after. Not the citizens, you know. So this is our chance here now to correct it. Let me put aside all the stupid talk. Boy, this one and that one. Let us align with, let me do the thing correct. At some point in time, we need to shut down the place. At some point in time, we need to go out and demonstrate. But the opposition, whether they like we or not, they need to be on board with that. Otherwise, here what's going on. If they're not on board with the agenda of the people, we will have to put them out from there too. And that is the narrative that we must push. This is what we want. We don't want this government doing certain things. Or here is the opposition, and there is the stands that we take. So we should hold meetings and invite them. And this is what we want for our country. We don't want these fines. We don't want these draconian measures. We want you to do up a petition, file a no confidence on the people behalf. Let we come out, let we push it, let we sign that. And if we successful, then so be it. Or you deserve governance after the 5 years or 3 years or the 2 years. If you are here. But if you're not here, then the people have no other choice than to choose something else. The government, the opposition needs to get on their feet. If the government don't want to hear, the next best option is the opposition, and they have to hear we. And if they don't hear we, then so be it. They have to go from there. But the opposition, this conversation needs to be taken to the opposition office. This is what the people want. We go out, we go to the Taxi Drivers Association. This is what they want, and we stand up in unity. That is where the UNC need to know their place. This is by far, I mean, you can't be talking, and at the end of the day, you want to lock up. I mean, come on, Oliver Jack's still in jail. This cannot be the narrative with no government. And the citizens stand up and we take that, we dress back, we take that. No, it's we that contributing to this country. And it is know when people want to truly help you, you know. Listen to them. Listen to them when they talk. I show all our in our heart when we were supporting the UNC before, when there was an opposition, or you could have tell something was funny. Or you feel that, you know, it's all that we have, that intuition. Something was wrong, but we could not nail it down. But look, not even 7 years into administration, we finally understand what's taking place. I hear you talk about Philip. All what you say about Philip, I can confirm all what you say. I was there in the party. You understand? Plenty of the people that was standing up with him move away. Why? Why? Because the mere factor, you could fool people on that granular level. What's going on now? All Philip Westmoreland partners and them and lawyers and them, or you may not have known them. I seen them in meetings and things. All of them is on board now. All of them is getting these state briefings now. Do you know that before election take place in Tobago, about 2 or 3 days before, they sent $9 million up there. Tobago election was a buyout election. They went through the communities and they paid citizens. That was, you see, people didn't understand that was on the news broadcast, but they make it look as propaganda. $9 million. I do an interview with a man today, and the man tell me 36,000 people went home in CPEP, URP, and forestry. URP is 20,000 something people alone. This is totally wrong. And we see how Sharon was on the live? I'm glad Sharon was on the live. She's a stunt PNM. We have to engage the opposition to start a pilot this thing forward. One man is not an island. And we have to constantly push this. I like the drive. And said, I tell you again, stand up with your brother. Your brother thing, don't leave your brother back. It's either we stand as brothers or we die as fools.
And is that for real?
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Now, what I going and say here is that I Kitty Chomo off the live. People going and disagree with me. But at this point, I really don't care. What is standing up for? This is not for Kitty, eh? This is not for Kitty at all. The rest of you all, what is standing up for? What are you all standing up for? What are they standing up for? Let me get into it one time. I want to tell you all something. You cannot stand up for something that you know nothing about. You cannot stand up for any change that you know nothing about. The last time I came up, or every time that I come on Kitty Live, I always tend to try my best. I'm not a big educator, but I have enough to go around. The people who voted for for this administration on the 20th of April, everybody who's saying stand up now, where was your ability to think outside of the rhetoric? Where was your ability to think outside of the rhetoric? Did you know the state of your country before you read your finger in terms of your country's economy? Did you know? You knew anything? You know why it is only 4% was offered? You know your constitution, when comes to an SOE, that here's what? Sedition matters. So you know what to say and what not to say. I always tell people, I am not about waving no political flag. And I stand 10 toes down on that. Hence the reason why it is every and any government that is doing nonsense, I could speak on it. The things that make sense, I will take with grace, and the others, I will put it right where it belongs, in the rubbish. You don't have to be a scholar. You don't have to have a bachelor's. Certain things went down in this country, and the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago allow it to fly over the head, or while they're closing the fridge door, as the saying goes. You all continue to do the same thing, and make no mistake, I just hold politicians accountable. But the real people that's supposed to be holding people accountable is you all supposed to be holding yourselves accountable. Because you all run with rhetorics. You all run with things daily. Anytime you having a government that you think that you're not getting certain things from, you tend to be upset. As that is your right. But why are you upset? Do you understand why? If that be the case, a lot of the things that you all were vexed about 2-3 years ago, you all would not have been upset about it. You all would not have been upset about it. But somebody comes, places a narrative, and you run with it without even knowing what you're running with. Kitty, I have reached the point now where I'm so tired of all of this nonsense. I am not following any political party blindly ever in this life. Ever.
So what's the solution? We're talking solution right now, eh?
You know what the solution? You know what the solution? Don't tell me that you want to protest and you don't know what you're protesting for, because that makes absolutely no sense. Don't tell me you want to protest and you don't know what you're protesting for. That makes no sense to me. And this is what the politicians play on. We get them, we get this batch to turn back, we get this batch to go forward. That is what I'm like. But ask them if they know what they're protesting for. Ask them if they know what the zone of operations bill mean on a surface level. The person who protesting. No, they don't know, but they're just out there because it sounds wrong. What is wrong with us as a people? We continue to be in the cycle of ignorance. I am not saying don't go outside there and protest, you know. But trust and believe you had to know what is your right and what you're protesting for. Because trust me, the same people I heard workers' rights say just now support the opposition. But ensuring when you're done support the opposition, make sure that you're informed to the point where that same opposition doesn't turn around and pull wool over your eye. And then you're going back around in circles. This government do so much on nonsense within the last 9 months or whatever. They do so much. And it's only because we're feeling the pressure. According to you, Kitty, is oppression. That's what you're feeling like now. So that's why at the end of the day, we reached to this. But all of this could have been avoided. All of this could have been avoided if we'd just take a minute and step right back and say, hey, what is this man really doing, boy? How this man running this country so that public servants could only be offered 4%? Why it is this happening? Why it is that happening? No, somebody come and promise you something. Somebody come and promise you something on factual information, and that could have never make sense to me. How by? How we reach here and how we continue to be here? What we doing? What we doing? Exactly, climate change. The promise was too good to be true. But we were studying the promise more than anything else. All I asking all you is whatever all you're doing, make sure, and I think I tell Kitty this 1,000 times, don't ever let no politician ever in life play for no clown. But this is not for she mostly. Because I don't get just who Kitty is. In terms of them things. Ask questions. When you want to put.
Well, I tell you the truth, Arita. I tell you the truth, Arita. The way you went to frightening me and lying to you.
Yeah.
I could take I never ever in my life vote for PNM. But I tell you the truth. Makila ain't doing no groundwork. And most likely she will not join us for PNM. She's not doing like groundwork, you know. You see she on Facebook, you know. And to me, better you really step back. I mean, nobody perfect here. But if we continue at this rate here, I feel we gonna be no more. I feel we might be like 80.
But please, even if you support the PNM, make sure that the PNM work for you. Make sure, you know. Because we will be right back here in the next 4 years. No, because you feel it feeling like it's a clown man. Smiling. That's why it says you see at the end of the day I create my own, because I don't like clown thing, you know. Don't clown me, you know. I's not a clown, you know. Alright? And let me tell you something, partner. Workers' rights. I don't feel I don't feel or I understand where it is I coming from. Because let me tell you something, the People's National Movement, I will say it here and I've said it before. I took a back seat and I told you that I don't have no reason to lie. And it's not just the other day. But the People's National Movement need to go back to the place where here was going on. You see how it is when you walk down on High Street. When Manning used to go and cut his hair and he stopped by the barber shop, by Pedro, and the boys across the road by the gas station, he go and sit down with them. And when the security running to come and tell him, he used to say, hold on, I breathe in with my boys. The People's National Movement had to go back down to the ground before they even talk about getting anybody's support. Go back to the people on the ground and then we can have a discussion. Because without the grassroots, and here what I'm talking about, without the grassroots with passion.
Wow. Then,
and then and only then, you could, listen, just not smiling, then and only then, you could resonate with the people once more. Don't come and tell me that I need to talk to you. I need to talk to you, and I need to talk to 10 different people before I get to you. Let it be 2 or 3 people maximum. You hear what I'm telling you? Go back to the ground. You need to come off that high horse. And you see any politician who the name called too much in the public domain, whether it is
Listen,
you hear what I'm telling you?
I hope all
You have
listening
no
to
right to show the face in politics.
Arita, when you're saying that they need to go back to the ground, that is true. They need to go back to the ground.
Give me
And the thing
a
about
break
it,
for the rhetoric.
I mean, they need to go back to the ground. They need to find back the roads. I hear what I say. And I hear the talk with Penelope come up with I believe that Young is that kind of person when you actually walk in the ground. I see Penelope.
Well, there's only Penelope walking. There's only Penelope walking the ground right now, eh?
But it's amazing what that woman does do. And right now,
I thought I see Michaela, but the only person actually on the ground right now is...
That is a joke. That is a joke. All you understand that the PNM is fragmented. And it's not because... hey, all you gotta leave me alone. Nobody has to come and tell me.
Yeah, so then...
Be very careful.
Right?
Arita, be very careful. Be very careful. Choose your words wisely. That's what I have to say.
Here how I looking at this whole thing, right? We are 2 parties here. Well, actually, we are 3, but Michaela not doing no work right now, so I don't know what's going on with Michaela, because I'm paying attention to shit, right? We are 2 parties, we in a problem. What is your solution? Because you ain't trusting no party, and all that is fine. So what is the solution? Instead of we just complaining and we get headache and frustrated and stressed out, is a solution.
I realize the solution is here. That here's what we want to go back to the People's National Movement. All I am telling you all.
No, we asking you. What is your solution?
Right? Me. I put it on me. I'm gonna take one for the team tonight. I put it on me. If I going back to the People's National Movement, in order for me to go back there, they have to go back to the party that where I and you and Seth and Workers' Rights had a say. You hear what I'm telling you? And if it's hey, listen, Seth, listen to my partner. Don't tell a ex-PNM, if you want to put it that way, don't tell me that don't happen. The People's National Movement is a movement, not a party.
I never say, I say, and if that does not happen, what do we do? That's what I ask.
No, it has to happen.
Yeah, it have to happen.
It has to happen.
That's the only movement. I actually said that's the only, in order to really we can't stay with UNC because we see what's going on here and we right to freedom of speech. All these things could be taken away from us eventually. A lot of people, more people will lose their jobs, you know. So the right move to me, because I'm being real, Penelope and the ground, you know, going around taking that. But I thought I would have seen Michaela. I don't know what's going on with Michaela, but the only way to move forward, I believe you have to take a step backward, because when you're really sitting down and thinking, what did Rowley really do to us?
What did he do?
No, like for real.
No, but I ask you, between you and me, and I want to ask you and set this question. What did Dr. Rowley do to the people of Trinidad and Tobago? Because up to now, I'm still trying to understand. When people say, what did he do? I want to know, what did he do to the people of Trinidad and Tobago? Did he take away jobs? Did he crash the health sector where people could not go and get no type of medication? Nothing. Because let me tell you something, the problem that existed 5 years ago still exists now, But Skip, yes, my partner.
Actually, he didn't really do anything. Actually, he didn't do nothing. Let me be real. Is the way how the man does talk?
What the Let me hear she finish now. Let me hear she finish, please.
No, I'm being real with you. Is Rowley, don't listen to nobody, dog. You know, I'm telling you, it's the way the man talk, because let me be real. He never shut down the YTEP, the CPEP, the CCC, the Moments and Harmony program, which is geriatric. He never stopped none of that. Look what's going on now. Those are the programs, man, and all of these people put together for the little black youth in communities to actually, who couldn't go to school, who couldn't study a book, but they could still do a trade, you know. And these are the